In the great, ancient forest of Yeltra, there was situated a small town called Hota, home to many wood elves. Several years ago, the woods around Hota became sick with an unknown evil influence. Hota and its denizens were threatened by many new monstrosities and abominations that began roaming freely. After one particularly nasty month, the elves of Hota, rallied by their spiritual elder, Yefena, prayed to Yolashti, goddess of the forest, for help combating this gradual sickness and degradation of their ancient town. Yolashti saw fit to send them a guardian to look over Hota and the surrounding area from that point onward, and thus came to the material plane the powerful, majestic unicorn known by the name... This is your cue.
Fancy.
Known by the name Fancy. Hey, I was giving the option to give it a different name. It might have been a different unicorn character.
No.
Known by the name Fancy. A few years after this, Hota and the woods around it were safe once more. But Charmant, a settlement of forest gnomes not only 50 miles away, had its turn for trouble. A tribe of orcs had rampaged through the Yeltra forest, setting up camp nearby Charmant, and proving to be an incessant nuisance to the gnomes. The eldest and wisest gnome, Christy, prayed to Listalak, god of territory and ownership, and her prayer was answered in the form of a guardian to protect the burrow from invaders. Thus came to the material plane the strong, fearsome Llamacorn by the name of...
I can't think of names on the spot, so we'll just go with Aftermath.
By the name of Aftermath. Aftermath. A very, very well-known llama name. For many years, the guardians lived near each other in peace. But as Hota and Charmant both grew, the domains to which the guardians were sworn began to overlap. The details of the first spat are lost to the annals of time, but for a long while now, Fancy and Aftermath have been bitter rivals, each seeing their own method of protection as superior and the other guardian as inferior. Recently, a human nomadic group have settled in the forest between the two old settlements, and a new battle has emerged over which of the two guardians should have the honour of being the protector of these new arrivals. After many petty feuds, it was decided that Hota and Charmant would each send their 5 best warriors, along with the respective guardian, and it would be decided once and for all which was superior, unicorns or llamacorns. And with that, we will head over to the battlefield. So, you may be able to see on the battlefield. Let me move your guardians out from behind my head. There you go. Here are your warriors. Fancy, the majestic unicorn, and the 5 elven warriors. And Aftermath, the very angry-looking pink llama. I'd like to take a second to admire the different artwork that the two of you sent in for your respective characters. Here's Fancy in all her beautiful majesty. And over
shout
here,
out to AJ for mine.
and here's Aftermath in all her raging beauty.
One of my amounts done by Jeanette.
Jay.
Jeanette Mocha.
Very nice, very nice. Both artworks beautiful and very good to have done by people in the community. All right. So you can see that on each side of this river, you're arriving at this prearranged place or where the battle is to take place. You're also noticing that up in this right-hand corner are the humans that have been settled here. The humans have been settled here, or are in the process of settling here, and they are watching this fight with interest. They are the potential new the new wards that will be under your protection should you win this fight, and each of you wants to be the guardian in charge, effectively. So, as you're approaching, is there anything that either of you would like to do in preparation for the fight, knowing that this fight is about to happen, and knowing that each side is bringing 5 of their warriors with them? What would you like to do in preparation? The time is yours.
Right, so sorry, what are these warriors we've got? Did you say elven?
Fancy is protecting an elvish village. You are Aftermath is protecting a dwarvish, a gnomish village, and each of you has the respective warriors with you.
Gnome is right. Okay.
So llama and five gnomes are on Team Llama. Unicorn and 5 elves are on Team Unicorn, and humans and a couple of hobbits sprinkled in there are on Team Middle.
So are they fighters?
The people with you are fighters, yes. They will be joining in the battle. They will be on your team. They will be minions, if you like.
Interesting.
I thought that might mix it up a little bit. Not telling you in
All right.
advance that you were going to have minions. So is there anything that you would like to do in advance? Anything that you would have done this morning, the morning of the battle, where it is to be decided once and for all? How would you have spent the morning preparing? Do you pray to the gods, your respective gods that sent you? Do you take a militaristic approach and talk to your warriors as if you are a commander of sorts? Do you eat a big meal? What do you do? What's your preparation?
So for Team Llamacorn, because the whole idea of us is that we're very, we like to inspire people. We like to get everyone in the fighting spirit. So we're not just protecting the innocent. We're actually like getting people involved and helping them help themselves almost.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
A lot of like inspirational, like things like an epic speech. I'm not actually going to do an epic speech.
No,
but imagine
we can assume that the llama is very good at epic speeches.
Like doing it like an inspirational, like we're going into battle speech. We are the best. We're going to win. We are going to get the glory.
Sure, we can fight, and some of you may die. Run, and you'll live, at least for now. But when you're dying in your beds, you give them that whole thing.
Yeah, but not in Scottish.
But not in Scottish. What's the llamacorns? Llamas aren't very English, though, are they?
Surely they would be.
The llamas. So we're ignoring. So I figured the unicorns are like a Scottish creature, right? Like in mythology.
They represent the country of Scotland.
Exactly, and I'm saying that llamas don't do that. Llamas don't do that for England. We should really have made it a lion corn in that case. Even because of all the lions that are roaming around wild in the Yorkshire moors.
And the dragons in Wales.
And the dragons roaming around Wales, of course, yeah.
And the harps from Ireland.
Yeah, Guinness. But no, we've gone with llamas, and we'll say that they're English, or the equivalent of England in this world. So, would you give each day from this day to that, to come back here and teach these bastards that they may take our lives, but they may never take our freedoms? Like that. A squirrel. London Euphoria says, squirrel corn for England. Badger corn. That should have been it. A unicorn versus red dragon. That would have been a much quicker fight. I'm going to go with a dragon corn.
Run away!
Which is basically what a blue dragon is anyway, with its massive horn in the face. All right, so Aftermath, the llamacorn, has given a very rousing speech to inspire the gnomes to work their hardest. Meanwhile, in that same morning, Fancy the unicorn has done what? What has Fancy done in preparation for this battle?
We're a lot more calm.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've all had good sleeps, and we've got up and we've gone, right, the llamas are coming, but the human village, they really just deserve a unicorn, because we are the best. We're ultimately the best. They think they're okay, and they're okay for small groups. So we need to meet them at the river before they can get there. And
they're nice and calmly, you tell the elves this, and the elves very much in agreement with you.
They're just nodding. Yeah.
They're nodding along, just nice and calmly. Yeah. And then they eventually you sort of look at the morning sky and you think, you want to stay calm. You want to stay calm to make good decisions. Yes.
Poor decisions are made out of rage.
I think it is time, one of them says, and they stand up. and they get their weapons and they start to walk towards the edge of the village, and you walk with them just calmly, walking, keeping them blessed with your presence until you make it to the edge of this sort of forest clearing area.
Yep.
And you see that the human villagers towards the sides here are looking on in awe at having seen a unicorn, probably for the first time in their lives. And then you start to hear this sort of marching sounds, almost rhythmic drumming noises coming from the east. And sure enough, you can hear them coming. And then you can see, like floating along on their own, gnomish tinkered inventions, keeping these self-drumming, rhythmic, war-chanting machines moving alongside them, and have approached the battle in much a different way to you. But as you approach the river, how would you like to start the fight? Would you approach each other and sort of shake hands, as it were, touch horns, however your kind shakes hands or greets each other, or would one of you like run into battle as soon as you got there? Like, what would you do?
Maybe smash talk first, surely.
Smash talk, yeah. You're gonna talk smack. So you leave your respective warriors behind over here. They sort of stand around while Fancy starts to walk forwards in sight of the river. And likewise over here, you tell your gnomes to sort of take a pew, and they go and sort of sit by the side of the river, while you walk up here. And Fancy, you walk all the way across here. Your team sort of follows you along.
Yeah.
And you're on the other side of a river, only separated by 20 feet or so. Let's zoom in now that we're close together so we can see each other real nice. I trust everybody can see the screen okay? Yeah.
I keep going to move the token like I actually can.
All right. So you find your bitter rival on the other side of this stream. A final petty feud brought to a culmination of celestial betterment of each other. What do you do? Who makes the first comment? Who slings the first insult? Who smacks the first talk?
Fancy seeing you here.
Fancy.
Did you just pun? Did you just play on words yourself?
Yes.
Bloody unicorns. Get Aftermath, we believe in you.
Oh, shut up, gnome. Someone steps forward, all hoity.
It's so crass. So crass. I'm glad that you bought the best to fight.
Listen, you don't need to do this.
And then this one steps forward and slaps him. Shut up! I want to see it.
Fight!
We have come here to prove once and for all that unicorns aren't the superior ones here. That llamacorns and all other species of corn can be just as good, if not better.
There's a reason that unicorns have been around in people's memories and stories for generations, this one says.
Yeah, because you guys have got a hold on it. It's unfair. Llamacorns are way better, and we're here to prove it.
And then this elf goes, "Oh, I said shut it, gnome!" And they lift their finger up and fire off a small ray of fire, which strikes out at this gnome and hits the bush behind it, setting it ablaze. And the gnome says, "It's on!" And he claps his hands together and summons like a bow and arrow between his hands, just summons it out of nowhere. And then he draws it back and takes a shot. And it seems like your minions have started the fight. I need you guys to roll initiative. And then what we're going to do is 19, thank you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add these guys as a turn, not individually, but as one minion group effectively. And they are going to go after the others. So let's just set them at 1 right now. And these guys are going to go in between so that let's set them at 2 for now. So that it deliberately moves between your sides. So it's Team Llama, Team Unicorn as the two main ones, and then Minion Llama, Minion Unicorn. There you go, and then back to Team Llama again. So at the top of the round, your side Team Llama has all 5 of your gnomes have just clapped their hands together, triggering a mechanical device that both they're wearing a ring on each hand, which as it hits together, it sparks with the electricity and summons arcane artificer magic to summon a bow between their hands, and then they draw back the string without arrow, and then as they draw it all the way to the full
hair
back.
flick.
Yeah, hair flick, because only the most dashing, the most dangerous. And they pull back their string, and as it pulls back to the full extent, suddenly a bolt of sort of electrical energy strikes down between the 2 hands from the 2 rings, and then they let it go, and it fires off an electrical bolt towards one of the other sides. So as your gnomish friend does that, you realise that the game is on, the game is afoot, and Llamacorn, you have the initiative. What do you do?
Okay, so my first question is, how deep is the river?
The river is probably no more than about 6 feet deep. You could cross it without drowning for sure. You might need to make an athletics check, or you could simply jump across it. What's your strength modifier?
+2.
+2. And what's the score? Is it a 14 or 15?
14.
14. So you, with a running jump, you could actually cross this river without issue from the sort of shortest point, because with a running jump you can jump your strength score. So 14 feet you can jump. So with a running jump, so if you wanted to take your movement to move back 10 feet and then take a 10-foot jump, you could jump across this river without needing to make any check. If you wanted to jump a slightly wider part, like jump from there to there, then you'd need to make an athletics check to see if you didn't land in the water. Or you could just run across the water. It's not that fast flowing. Wouldn't be too much of an issue for you. So what do you do?
Right, so I've just seen, just down to the bottom, like my gnomes have kicked off.
Yeah, these minions have started fighting each other.
So the adrenaline and all the rage is coming through now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to... Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna back up, like keeping eye contact with Fancy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Back up, back up, back up, and then take a running jump right across the river, and then straight into a slam attack.
Boom! All right, so you're jumping right for here, like right directly for Fancy. Am I getting that right? Yeah. So you jump across, running jump. You don't need to make the athletics check because that's only 14 feet. Let me just double check that. Yeah, with your strength score, you can make that without needing a check. So you run, and you leap across there, and you go straight into a slam attack right against Fancy. So you bring back your long llama neck and try and slam them neck fighting. So, what is your attack? It's a plus what?
Ooh,
hey, nat 20. Nat 20 on the first hit. All right, you're not taking things slowly.
My attack's +5 as well, if that's right.
Yeah. All right, and what do you hit with? What's the attack dice on the slam?
So it is 2d6 +2.
2d6 +2, but it's doubled because it's a crit, so it's 4d6 +2. All right, so roll 4d6 +2. We rolled 16 damage. So with that first attack, Fancy, you hear this shot of firebolt streak off behind you, and realize just too late what's happening. And as your awareness is drawn to your minion friends over to your right, you hear this galloping hooves on the other side of the river, and leaping across towards you is a great, angry, bright pink, hot pink Llamacorn that slams down into the side of your bank and boom, brings that big neck round and just slams into the side of your neck, knocking you for quite a bit of bludgeoning damage there. All right, is there any subsequent effect to the slam attack? You don't need to make any other secondary effect saves or anything with it, do you? I don't have the don't have the stat block.
So if the jump across the river, did that count just as part of my movement?
Yeah, it counted as your movement. So you've got 50 feet of movement. You moved back like 15 feet and then ran 10, 25. So you would have gone like 40 feet now. So you've got like 10 feet of movement left.
Just thinking, because I've got multi-attack, so I could, so if I didn't, because I didn't do a check to cross the river, it just happened, then I can do my multi-attack and attack with my horn as well.
Correct, yeah. So you've slammed in,
So-
you've knocked
so-
Fancy to the side a little bit, and then you bring that horn back and try and headbutt them.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay.
What's
This might be
what's the
over very
roll?
quickly.
Oh, 7.
7
7 plus
plus-
5?
Plus 7 on the horn.
Plus 7 on the
apparently.
horn. Oh, yeah, because we used dexterity for that, not strength. All right, so 14 to hit, and I believe 14 will hit. Yeah, your armor class is 12. So what's the damage on the horn? Don't worry, Fancy.
1d8
You've got legendary actions.
Plus
remember.
4. 1d8 plus 4.
1d8 plus 4. Roll 1d8 plus 4. So that's 6 points of damage. So you're just recovering, reeling back from being slammed to the side, Fancy. You see this horn coming around and it pierces a decent couple of inches into your neck, and it hurts real bad, but if you shake it off, you're not wounded yet. You still feel fine, and with your ability to heal, you can do. You feel like you're not going to be on death's door just yet. All right, was that everything? You can do a slam and a horns attack. Is there anything else you can do?
That is everything I can do on my turn.
Wonderful. All right.
I believe, yeah.
It is now the end of your turn. Is there anything that you, Fancy, want to do at the end of somebody else's turn?
I'm going to kick back with hooves.
Is there anything that would be something to do on your turn? Is there anything you might want to do at the
It's
end of
under-
somebody else's turn?
It's under my legendary actions.
Ah, you're using a legendary action to kick with the hooves. Awesome, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so roll the. So you're using your legendary action at the end of Aftermath's turn to try and kick her back with the hooves.
Yeah, ideally with back hooves.
with the back
to try and
hooves.
kick
So
her
you get
back,
slammed
back
into the side.
across the river.
Yeah, you get slammed into the side. You sort of turn that around. You use that momentum to spin yourself round and try and kick it back hoof in the face. All right, so roll it. Let's see if you hit.
Apologies, Rob. What is it? It's a D.
You need to roll to see if you attack first. So roll the hoof attack on the block. It'd be a d20 plus. What would it be? Unicorns have a hoofs attack. It's a +7. So you roll a d20 plus 7 in the chat.
Mercy.
Unicorns. 23. That'll definitely hit. So now you roll the damage. What's the damage of a hoof attack? A hoof attack. That's 2d6 plus 4. Yeah, 23 will hit. So 2d6 plus 4 in the chat. Fancy. What's this? That's 10 points of damage. Nice. All right. So, smashed. So as you jump across the river, slam into the unicorn and stab with the horn, and then pull back, and then they get pushed round to the side with the momentum of your slam. They actually continue round to the side, moving their back end towards you, and then they lift up, and too late do you realise what's coming in, Aftermath, and you get two very strong hoofs in the chest. Poof. Is there any secondary effect to the hoof? I don't think there is, right? You don't also push with that attack, do you?
I don't think so.
No, but you can choose to. You can always choose to forego a damage on an attack to actually try and push somebody instead of doing damage. So you can do that on your turn, which is now. All right.
Oh, it's okay.
You've got your turn now. It is now the unicorn's turn. Boop. What do you do now, Fancy? You get all your legendary actions back.
Now that I've basically thumped Kay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast Entangle
All right, entangle. Who are you entangling?
on her little friend.
On our little friendies. Oh no.
On her little friend. Oh yeah.
How rude.
Here's what I prepared earlier.
They bloomin' started it.
They did start it. All right, so all 5 of them need to make strength saving throws. So I have given the gnomes a 0 modifier to their strength. So I'm just going to roll straight up d20s for each of them. There's a cooldown in there, so I will roll it on roll 20 instead. Roll 5 d20s. I'll just take them all in turn. So the first one got a 12, the next a 15, the next an 8, the next a 14, the next a 5. So the 12, 15, and 14, which would be this guy, and this guy, all succeed, but these back 2 fail. because they don't see you casting the spell. It makes sense that way. All right. So these two are entangled. I will put a little something on here, a little net symbol to say that they're restrained by the entanglement. These three are still in the area of difficult terrain, but they're not caught up by it. As they've just drawn back their bow and fired off electrical bolts of arcane energy, they see you turn to them, and then this back kick against Kay. And then the horn starts to glow, and sort of a wisp of greenish energy shoots from the tip of the horn into the area where they are. And the three of them at the front kind of dive to the sides and manage to avoid the vines. But these two are caught up by it and wrapped up and restrained. All right. Was that your action to do? I believe it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you can do? Let me double check.
Move.
You can move, yes. Where do you want to move to?
I'm going to circle round behind my guys.
All right. So as you leave melee range of Kay, you get an attack of opportunity if you want to take it.
Would that be with?
It would be any melee attack. So you can make hooves or horn or slam.
I'll have a swipe with my horn then.
All right. So the horn comes around and tries to slash across the back end of your unicorn body. That is a 12. 12 is exactly what you needed to hit, so that does hit. Roll damage.
Ooh.
All right. So, 11 points of damage. Fancy Unicorn does not like that she's taking some damage now.
Toxic.
68. So you're one more hit point, and it would have made you bloodied. It would have made you the wounded condition, but it's not quite. You're at like 51% of your health. All right, so Fancy gets scratched across the back, but now you can continue to move with your movement. Whereabouts would you like to go? Like over here? Or like over here? Give me a number.
So I was going to stay along the river and circle around behind the tree.
Stay along the river, circle around behind this tree. Am I right over here?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you get kicked, you turn around and kick, then you entangle, and then you duck away, and the horn manages to strike you pretty hard. But then you gallop around the back of this tree here, and that's your entire turn, I believe, right? All right. Yep. Kay, is there anything you want to do at the end of somebody else's turn?
So I can't do a slam as a legendary because
no one to slam.
It's too far away.
What else have you got as a legendary action?
So I could either cast Shimmering Shield on my guys, which gives them +2 AC until the end of my next turn, or heal self.
Correct. You don't have to do either of them. You can wait until the end of either your guy's turn or your opponent's
turn. For now,
turn.
no. I'll cast Shimmering Shield, assuming it's within range.
Let me have a look just exactly at the wording of that. Shimmering Shield, because I think it was the same as unicorns. We didn't.
Oh yeah,
anything
around
about it.
itself or another creature it can see
Yep,
within 60 feet of it. Yeah.
Target gains a +2 to AC until your next turn. So you can do it against around yourself or any one of the 5 compadres. Who do you want to protect?
I'll do one of the guys at the front. So say the one at the bottom.
This guy here.
At the front on the bottom.
All right. And what does it look like when you protect them with your Shimmering Shield?
So from my horn, you can see a pastely pink radiant energy coming from the horn, going towards the gnome and then kind of enveloping him in this kind of like pink, glittery, sweet smelling energy.
Sweet smelling energy.
Sweet. Yeah.
From the
smells a bit like wine.
Tip of the horn. And it protects him just like that. All right. Wonderful. So that was a legendary action. Because both unicorns and lamacons are legendary creatures, they have legendary actions. So for people watching at home who are confused, what that means is at the end of somebody else's turn, they get to interrupt to perform something. So let me show you on the unicorn's stat block. Unicorn stat block. How do I get that up again? Like this. There we go. So let me show you. The legendary actions that they both have is to do an attack. So for the unicorn, it's hooves. For the lamacon, it's a slam. So they can just make one attack with their hooves. They can use 2 of their 3 actions per round to cast their Shimmering Shield, the way that Kay just did. Or you can use all 3 of your 3 actions per round to do Heal Self. So for instance, if you are next to somebody, then after all 3 other turns, you can just slam, slam, slam. And then when it comes back around to you, you get all your actions back. Alright, so that was the end of Fancy's turn. It is now the gnome's turn. The gnomes will continue to... these 2 are going to use their action to try and escape from the restraint, because they don't want to be sitting ducks with that. How do I roll on roll 20 again? Just like this. /R 2d20. Let's see which one gets out. We got a 1 for this guy, a natural 1, and a 16 for this guy. So this guy manages to use his action to escape from the restraint, and he uses his movement, all of his movement to go. It's difficult terrain, so he goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He goes to about over here. That's about as far as he can go. So you'll notice that the gnomes are a little bit hardier. They've got 10 hit points each. A little bit easier to hit though, with only 11 AC, and they're not quite as fast. Whereas the wood elves are a little bit easier to take down, but a little bit harder to hit because they're a little bit more lithe and can get out of the way of things. And they're a little bit faster, so they can get around the battlefield a little more. This guy's still restrained. These guys will use some of his movement to get out of this area of difficulty. He's going to take a little bit of cover behind this rock. This guy will again get out of this difficulty, and he is going to... In fact, he's going to use his movement from here to run to the edge of the bank and jump. Let's see, how far is that? Does he need to make a check? That's only 8 feet. He's got at least 8 strength, so he manages to make that jump without any difficulty. He hops over to here. That's probably going to be his... Oops, that's going to be his full movement though, isn't it? Probably, and then some. Yeah, that would have to be a dash to get there. So in fact, he's not going to do all of that. He's going to just get to there. So he gets to there with his full movement. He's got an action left. He is going to draw back his arcane bolt, and he's going to fire off at this guy here. He needs only a 12 to hit. So I'm going to roll that for him. D20. That is a 13 to hit. So yes, he takes that one down. Let's see how much he does. Roll 1d plus 5 points of damage. So this elf takes 5 points of damage and is left on 3. And you see that the electricity hits him and it shocks his system. It doesn't seem to do any sort of lasting damage to them. They're not doing anything that can kill each other. They're not aiming to kill. They're aiming to incapacitate. So he is heavily wounded. And then finally, this guy is going to... What can he do? He's going to move forwards towards the edge of the thing. How far is that? That's 10 feet. So that's going to be 20 with the difficult terrain, which means he's only got 5 feet more movement to get out of there. So he's going to use his action to grab a little device out of his pocket and shove it in his mouth. It looks like a kind of a gigantic metal ball bearing, and he shoves it into his mouth, and then he dives headfirst into the water. And being a little gnome, he is fully submerged, and therefore has total cover from any attacks. Alright, that is, I think, all of their attacks. He used his action. Oh, this guy ran and hid, but he didn't use his action, so he's going to use his action to try and shoot at this one here. Yeah, he's going to shoot at that one. D20. Oops, my bad. That's a 13. Ooh, rolling just lucky enough. That is me rolling the wrong bloody commands. Here we go. Ah, come on, big fat fingers. Ooh, that's quite high. That was 7. That was 7 points of damage. So this guy is taken down to 1 hit point. But then that is their turn over. So both of you, at the end of their turn, but we're going to go in initiative order, you both get to use a legendary action if you wish to take it. Kay, you've already used two of your 3 legendary actions this turn to cast a Shimmering Shield. So you've only got 1 legendary action left. All you can do with that is a slam, and there's no one next to you to slam. So you're probably
that's
not
fine.
gonna
So
use it.
I will do nothing.
Fancy, however, you've got 3 legendary actions left, and you've not done anything with them yet. So what do you want to do?
Have I not used Hooves? It's legendary.
You did, but that was before your turn, so you got them back again on your turn. Let me remind you, you're on about 50% of your health, and you do have Heal Self as one of the things you can do.
It's a strong hint. Very strong hint.
It was a strong reminder. You could also cast a Shimmering Shield on one of your almost wounded opponents.
That's the two things I'm debating. Do I help someone else or do I help myself? Because I'm at half health.
You are at half health. These 2 are at less than half health, and these 2 are at full health. These 3 are at full health, and all of these 5 here are at full health.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Shimmering Shield.
All right, which one do you cast it on?
The one closer to Kay.
The one here. All right. So this one gets a Shimmering Shield. Where's the shield icon? Is that it? No, where is it? Where did it go? I just had it before. There we go. So this one gets a Shimmering Shield, and for the time being, they go up to 14. And does it? How long does the Shimmering Shield last? Is it a concentration thing, or is it for 1 round?
Till the end of the unicorn's next turn.
Next turn, cool. Excellent. All right, so that one gets a Shimmering Shield cast upon it. And how does it look from you when you cast? Is it much the same sort of thing, but different flavor to the energy, or does it look completely different?
Very similar. It's probably like a combination of white and purple sparkles.
White and purple sparkles come firing out of the horn and strike your friend who's just been electrocuted, and starts to swirl around. It seems to distort the outline of the person, so it's a little bit harder to aim for. If they lose all their minions. No, if they lose all their minions, the minions have lost. But it's not over till one of them goes down. And
but we have to go back to
the
village without them.
Yeah, and they're not dying. They're not dying. It's a gentleman's fight. You're not aiming to kill. All right. So you used your legendary action to heal to shield that one. That is, I think, the end of that. So now it is the end of their turn. It's the start of your allies' turn. Your allies, what are they going to do? Let's see. So can they heal themselves? Can they attack you guys? I think they're going to make the attacks first. Are they going to be smart enough to do it? Let's have a look. So this elf is not enjoying that they were forced to put their money where their mouth was, as it were, seeing as they were the one to kick it off. They're going to use their 35 feet of movement to head over here. They are hiding in light foliage now, and as a wood elf, they can do so. So they are going to get over there and get some cover behind it. This one is going to get over here and get some cover in the middle of this tree. This one is going to do the same over in this tree. This one's going to spread out over here, and this one is going to get some cover in the nook of this rock here. And then from their respective locations, they're going to make some attacks. Let's have a look. Who can they hit? This one is restrained, so they're going to get advantage to attack this one. So I think they're going to make sure to take that one out. This one's smart enough to go for this guy. This guy can also go for this guy, so there's going to be 2 attacks from that one. These 3 might go for the llama. Oh no, this guy's pretty open. Oh, but he has got a shield. Let's see. Alright, the wounded one is going to go for this guy. These 2 are going to go for the restrained, and these 2 are going to go for the llama. Alright, that's what we're doing. So, roll 2d20. Let's go for the 2 llamas first. So the llama attacks are going to be an 18 and a 19. So both of those are going to hit. And so the damage is going to be... The total damage is 9 fire damage to you as some of your portions of llama wool start to singe and set on fire by the thin rays of fire bolts. So you take 9 points of damage there. Okay, taking you down to 48 total. And then this guy is going to attack this one over here. D20. That's a total of 6 to hit, which, especially with his shield, shimmering shield, does not hit. Fires off a bolt of energy, and it sort of just seems to get absorbed by that sweet-smelling scent around him. And then these two are going to go with this to this guy, but each of them has advantage on the attack because of the fact that he's restrained in entangled webs. The first one was an 18, so that's going to hit. And let's see if he kills first. In fact, he can't kill, not with a single roll. So let's see if the second guy hits first. The second one is a 13 to hit, which is enough to hit as well. All right, so with that, he's probably going down, but let's find out in case they roll real low. So as 2 firebolts streak across the river towards them, he takes 11 points of damage total. He only had 10 total to begin with. So the 2 firebolts, as he's struggling to get out of the entanglement, he sees these 2 firebolts, and they both hit him in the shoulders, and he yield, and he puts his hands up and he yields. So he is out of the fight. He just sort of sits there and puts his hands up to show that he's been got, and he's not fair game to attack anymore. All right.
Well done, guys. Well done.
They've all moved. They've all had an action. That is all that they can do. So it's the end of their turn. Would either of you like to do anything? Actually, both of you can only do a melee attack because you've used 2 of your 3 thingamabobs. So there's nothing you can do. All right. Back to the top of the round. Kay, you get all 3 of your legendary actions back, and it's your turn. What do you do?
The one who was entangled he's out. The 2
yes.
either side. So I got 1 to the left of him and 1 to the right. Are they within 30 feet of me?
Let's have a look. So within 30 feet of you, we've got this guy's in 30 feet. This guy's within 30 feet. Yep. This guy's 45 feet away. This guy's 41. This one's within 30 feet. And you can move before you do anything as well. So if you needed them to be in 30 feet, you could get them all within 30 feet.
Actually, so what I'm going to do... I'm going to move directly down, just enough to get the bottom 3 guys in range of 30 feet.
All these guys? All right. So to get this this guy over here is going to be the hardest one. To get him within 30 feet, you'd need to be on this side of the river with him. So you could, if you get to like here, that's no problem at all, and that's easy enough to do. You've got 50 feet of movement, right? So if you ran like over here, and then, you'd probably need to dash there. Let's have a look. 50 feet movement. Let's see. Is there a way to do it? If you ran to there and then jump. Oh yeah, there we go. So if you ran and then jumped across here, you could get here and be within 30 feet of all of these guys.
Yeah, as long as I can still take my action when I get there, that's fine.
Yep. I'm arranging it so that you don't have to make any jump. Jumping across only there. You don't need to make any jump as long as you've had a running jump. All right. So that's what you do. You run this way, and then you quickly take a corner, and then you jump, and you land on the other side here. Boom. And you're within 30 feet of these guys, and you still have your action.
So then I'm going to cast Bless on them.
Wonderful. All right. What does Bless look like when you cast it?
So as the component is a sprinkling of holy water, I thought what I'm going to do is put a spin on it. So I'm going to, from a pouch somewhere on my, from a pouch on my person somewhere, I'm going to pull out a bottle of wine, and I'm going to take a swig, and then I'm going to spray it up in the air like a shower, and the wine's going to shower down on them. So not holy water, it's holy wine.
Holy wine. I mean, you can turn water into wine if you're holy enough.
The holy rosé.
All right, let me just check bless for something, because I did say that the little guy in the river is completely fully submerged, so you might not be able to cast it on him. I think for bless you might need to see the target. Let me double check. No, it just says within range.
Doesn't say that. Yeah,
Yep,
within
it just
range.
says within range, so you don't need to be able to see him. You know where he is. You went into the thing. As a Llamacorn, you've got a good sense of where every living creature is in your forest, so you know exactly where he is. You just can't see him. But you swing back as you run. you reach into some fur on your chest and you pull out a bottle of wine, glug glug glug, shove it away again, and then as you leap over the river, it just goes out, it sprays out behind you, and as it catches the light, the little droplets of wine make a little wine rainbow in the air behind you as you leap, and then you land on the ground with your big hooves, and the other guys all get sprayed in blessed holy wine, including the guy up. You make sure to spray some of it into the water upriver of him so that it washes over him as the river goes past, and he gets blessed also. Awesome. All right, so that was your movement and your action. I believe that's all you can do, right?
Yeah, I don't think I have any bonus actions.
All right then. So Unicorn, you get all 3 legendary actions back, and it's now your turn.
I'm going to heal myself first.
All right. So as an action, you're going to cast Heal Self. Is that right?
Correct.
Let's have a look. See, so Healing Touch. Well, actually, technically speaking, Healing Touch says a unicorn touches another creature with its horn. So as your action on your turn, you can't heal yourself, but on your as a legendary action, you can use your Heal Self.
Yeah.
So it's technically your turn now. You can't use legendary actions on your turn. You have to wait for the end of somebody else's turn to do it.
Okay.
So you can use Healing Touch on one of your wounded allies on your turn, and then heal yourself on your turn. But you can't heal yourself on this turn. Was that clear, or did I confuse you?
It's clear. I just thought it was the end of Kay's turn.
It was, but it was the end. At the end of Kay's turn, you still only had one legendary action.
Oh yeah, because it needs to be charged.
Because Heal Self costs 3, and you didn't get your actions back until the start of your turn.
And I have 1.
Yeah,
I put
exactly.
1 at the moment. Yeah.
But now that it's the start of your turn, you get all 3 of them back, so that at the end of the gnome's turn, you can heal yourself.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Calm Emotions.
Ooh, Calm Emotions, very cool. All right. So where are you censoring it?
I've just been watching what Kay's been doing and going, no, you saving your people. Let me see if I can mess with that.
All right. So Calm Emotions. I don't think I had a prearranged spell for that by the looks of it, so I will just use a generic area. What does Calm Emotions do? Can you read it out for me?
You're able to suppress strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on the point you choose within range must make a charisma saving throw. A creature can choose to fail the saving throw if it wishes.
All right.
If they fail, I can choose 2 of the following effects, one of which doesn't matter at this moment. The one that does is I can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that it's hostile towards.
Very cool.
This indifference ends when the target is attacked or harmed with a spell, or if it witnesses any of its friends being harmed.
Right. Very, very good. Okay, so where are you centering the spell?
Where Kay is.
Right on K. And how does it look?
It looks like a vaguely purpley wave, like a circly. It's like a circular ring coming around the unicorn and then pushing out towards her.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, so a circular wave of purplish energy radiates from the unicorn and pushes out like a wave front, rippling the very air in front of you with its purplish kind of wave of energy. I think, does the guy... Let's have a look. 20-foot sphere on a point you tune, blah, blah, blah. Yep, it doesn't say anything about having to be against somebody seen. So even the guy under the water is going to have to make the save.
Yep.
So each one has to make a
So-
charisma saving throw.
But they're all blessed, so they get an extra D4.
Correct. Well done. Well remembered. All right. So each of them is going to roll. Let's see. And I need you to roll as well. Okay.
And I get advantage for magical resistance.
Correct. Look at you knowing all of your abilities.
Well, I am a DM in training. I need to know these things.
Yeah.
I'm DMing tonight and tomorrow as well.
Yeah. Exciting. All right. What do they need? What's your
was it-
DC? It says innate spellcasting. The unicorn's innate spellcasting ability is charisma. Spell save DC 14. So for anything that requires it, no, it's all good. For anything that requires a spell save, the DC difficulty class is 14. So the first guy got a 12, the second one got an 8, the next one got a 3. So they're all failing it, but that's without bless. So even with bless, the second two can't possibly succeed, but the first guy might. So let's roll and see if he gets a 2 or more. Roll 1d4. He gets a 4. Yes. So the first guy gets pushed up to a 16,
Nice.
and I went round in clockwise order. So this guy succeeds.
I rolled a 16 as well, so
Nice. So you succeeded also.
I saved.
So this guy succeeds on his on his calming emotion attempt, but this guy he kind of forgets that he's meant to be fighting. What's a good symbol for that?
Is he the one
Indifferent.
under the water?
What's that?
Is he the one under the water?
No, the one under the water is the one that succeeded on his charisma saving throw, but this guy and this guy, the one on the log and the one behind the bush over here, they both failed, so they become indifferent towards you until they witness any of their friends being harmed. Let's see. Charmed. What would he be? Indifferent. Here we go. There's a flag. He's waving a surrender flag. That's a good symbol for it. Look at this guy with all the symbols. Oh, actually, he doesn't have his shimmering shield anymore, does he? Because it's been the end of the llama's turn. So now he's back down to a regular 11 hit AC. But he is still blessed and he is still charmed. All right, cool. So these two guys are completely. They look out around you as if they're all a little bit puzzled as soon as this sort of wave of purplish energy washes over them, and the bow between their hands disappears back and seemingly absorbed back into the rings that they're wearing, and they kind of look around like, why are we fighting again? And that is your action, Fancy. Is there anything you want to do as movement?
I'm going to move over towards my most wounded guy.
Moving over towards this guy. Via the back route or via the front route?
By the back route.
By the back. So you turn around and you gallop back over this path here, and you get to there. Actually,
Yeah.
technically, the most wounded guy is that guy. He's almost on death's door. So let's see. Can you get
I'm going to deal with what's happened, and then I'm going to come for you. I'm going to rescue
there? Yeah,
you.
let's see. So from where you were, you can't quite get to within melee of him, but you can get to there. All right. That is Unicorn's turn. At the end of the Unicorn's turn, do you want to do any legendary action, Llamacorn?
Not at this point, no.
All right. It is now the gnome's turns. That is what's going to happen now. These two are indifferent. They're not sure what's going to happen. They're not sure why we're fighting. This guy is going to use his cover, and he is going to fire at the one that you're going towards because he's a smart little gnome and he can see what's going to happen. And he goes, "Not on my watch!" And whoosh, before you get a chance to heal, he's going to set off an electrical bolt of energy towards that gnome there.
Yeah,
Roll.
smart little gnome.
Yeah, smart little gnome. He's like, don't heal. Take her off the battlefield real quick. That is a 19 to hit. So even with the half cover that I gave him from having the blockage and the shimmering shield, actually, which would have gone at the end of Fancy's turn.
Damn it.
So yeah, even with the half cover of the tree, 19 is going to hit, and they've only got 1 damage, so they definitely are out. So they get struck as you run over towards them, and they're still kind of twitching from the residue of the electrical energy that hit them last time. You're about to run over and heal them with your healing horn. Your horn starts to glow with the magic of hit, and just before you reach them, another bolt of energy strikes through the trees, and they just drop to the ground, and they yield. And with the greatest energy and effort, they manage to put their twitching arms up in the air to show, no, I'm out. So they are out of the battle. All right. That was his action. What is he going to do? I think he's going to stay where he is. He's got a pretty good spot where he is, hiding half cover behind that rock. This guy's out already. These two aren't fighting, so this guy is going to swim with his movement. That's going to be all of his movement to get to there. And then he is going to... He's going to pop his little head up out of the water. Still with the metal artifact in his mouth. He can't use his electric bow when he's in the water though, for obvious reasons.
Well, he can.
Yeah, he can. He doesn't
That's
know
how
what's happened
smart
to
he
his
is.
friends. What could he do?
Why don't you guys come in for a swim first?
Yeah, you
Then
guys
he
all
can-
jump in,
then
and then
he'll
he
use
uses
the
his electrical.
electric.
What has he got? He's got very little he can do while he's in the water. So he's going to. Let's see. He was over here. He swims over. What's his plan? What's he thinking? What he's actually going to do is he's going to use the dash action, and he's going to swim all the way up here. I didn't determine which way the water was flowing, did I? So let's just determine which way it's flowing, because it'll see whether he gets further or less far than he would normally be able to go. Let's roll a d2. If it's a 1, it's flowing down towards the bottom of the screen. It is. So it's flowing against him, and so he doesn't get quite as far as he would have liked. All right, that is his turn. That is all of their turn. It's the end of their turn. Llama, do you want to do any legendary action?
I'll do a shimmering shield again on the one who was just swimming.
The one who's
Do I have to
swimming
see
away?
him?
I think you might have to see
No, I
him.
don't.
It doesn't say on tag
Oh,
you can
it's
see.
a creature it can see, yeah.
Yeah, you can't see him. You can sense where he is because of your innate understanding of everything, but you have to be able to see him to shimmering shield him.
Okay, I'll do it on the one that's on the log.
The one that's on the log, he gets a little shield to help him out. He's like,
But I don't understand. Why are we even fighting? What's happening?
all right, that's your.
For the glory of the llamacorns!
So you've used
I
2 of
don't
your
remember what
actions.
that
Keep
is.
track of that. Fancy, do you want to use any legendary action at the end of the gnome's turn?
No.
Nope. All right. It is now the elf's turn. This elf will. Let's see. They need to start attacking. I think this elf will peek out from behind the tree and attack this gnome who's got half cover. So he's got 13 AC. Roll D20. That's an 18. So even with half cover, this little gnome, as he peeks up and fires off an electric bolt to take out that top one, he doesn't duck back down quickly enough, and his head gets caught with a firebolt. Ow! 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 And he holds his hair as his hair goes alight. Let's see how much damage he takes from it. Roll. Oh, only 3. I rolled minimum damage on that. So 3 damage to him. He's still in the fight. He manages to put out the embers on his hair before it gets too much. This one can't see anybody to attack right now. Oh, no, actually, you can see the llama. You can see the big old llama from all the way over there. So it's going to... It's well within range, right? Yeah. Oh, actually, what's the range on Firebolt? 60 feet? Yeah, you're close enough. 60 feet. Let's not bog it down with rules. 60 feet, he's going to attack the llama from where he is with a Firebolt. And what's your armor class, llama? Your llama class? Oh, that's only a 6. Doesn't matter.
It is
12, I think.
12, yeah.
Actually, yours should be higher than that. What's your dexterity again? Your dexterity modifier?
+4?
Yeah, you should have a 14 armor class. We forgot to change that. Your armor class is based on 10 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay, sweet.
And thrice back.
So he only got a 6 on his firebolt, unfortunately, this guy, so he misses. But these two are going to do the same thing. Are they smart enough to know what the unicorn just did? I think they are, because they're magical elves. They know how magic works, and the unicorn has been their protector for a few years. So they probably know not to attack the 2 guys that are charmed. So instead, they will Do they know who's charmed though? Because they don't. The Lamacon hasn't done anything to.
They will have known the range because I'll have used it in the past.
Yeah, so they know.
To our
Yeah, they know the
advantage.
range, so they know who could have been charmed, but there's no signs that they are charmed because nobody has attacked yet. So they will hold their actions. They will take the readied action. The trigger is if they see somebody attack, and the action is they'll attack that person. All right. That is the end of the elves' turn. Do either of you want to use your legendary actions?
I used up my non-shimmering shield already, so
Yeah, you've used that,
can't-
so you've
I
only got
can't do
enough
a
for a
slam,
slam.
so.
Yeah. And Unicorn?
I'm going to self-heal.
Self-heal. Awesome. All right, so you heal how much?
2d8.
2d8.
Plus 2.
2d8 plus 2. And because this... so in one of the...
Or 11.
One of the layer abilities of unicorns and lamacons is that the forest that belongs to you automatically maximizes any healing done in that layer. But because you're in disputed territory, neither of you get that ability right now, so you still have to roll for it. If you were fighting in your own layer, you would just magically heal the maximum amount.
The maximum or the average?
No, so one of the things about unicorns is that it says, I don't know if we read this out the other day, so I don't anticipate you would know about it. It says in the lore about them, a unicorn's lair has regional effects. One of those regional effects of a unicorn's lair is that any good aligned creature casting a spell or using a magical effect that causes a good aligned creature to regain hit points, the target regains the maximum number of hit points possible for the spell or effect. So in your own layer, when you heal self or heal somebody else, you just automatically maximize the amount of healing you do. But because neither of you are in your layer and you're in sort of mutually no man's land, you both still have to roll the effect.
So I would have got 18 at home.
At home you would have got 18, yeah. But here you get 2d8 plus 2. 9 hit points. All right. So you regain 9 hit points from healing yourself. What am I doing? 9 onto 34, so plus 9. There we go.
43.
Back up to 43 hit points. That was triggered at the end of the elf's turn, so it's back to the top of the round. Lamacon, you get all 3 of your legendary actions back, and it is now your turn. What do you do?
right. I am thinking the elf in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
He's in
This guy?
cover, right?
Yeah, all of these guys are considered to have half cover because of the trees
Because they're smart.
and the rock.
Actually, no. This doesn't matter. This should still work. So I'm gonna back up and jump the river again.
All right, and where are you headed? Over this way?
Yeah, to get in range of that guy in the tree.
This guy, the
that you were
wounded
just
guy?
on. The guy down the bottom.
This guy.
No, down.
Bottom right.
No,
Bottom left.
that one. Yes, yep, that one.
This is why we use words.
Sorry, hang on. No, sorry, it's because of the delay on the stream. We're talking in
This is why
Discord,
this is why we use words. But bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right.
Bottom, the one that's directly underneath Fancy.
Directly underneath Fancy is bottom right. Yeah, this one.
Bottom right, yeah. Okay.
On a square,
Because I'm
he
looking
would
at it
be
on
the
the
bottom
stream,
right
but you're
corner.
like a few seconds ahead of me. Right, yeah. Bottom right.
Sassy Rob.
So,
Rob is all the sass. All right. So you back up 10 feet. You run forwards. You jump over without the need to make an attack. You get within range of this guy. He now does not have half cover from you because obviously you can't hide behind a tree when you're next to him.
I don't want to get too close. I don't want to get in melee range.
Oh, okay.
I just want to get close enough to spit in his face.
Ah, I see. Wonderful.
So it's 15
So much
foot.
class.
All right, just close enough to
15-foot
spit in his face as right after swigging wine from a bottle that she was hiding in her pocket. She got out some pocket wine, swigged it from the bottle, and now is spitting in some stranger's face. Classy Lamacon. All right.
You guys all voted for her. I'm just.
All right. So you backed up to a bit, then you ran and jumped, and then you ran to there. So you've used pretty much all of your movement. You're within range of him. What's the range of spit? It's like 30 feet or something. 20 feet?
15,
15 feet.
15-foot line.
Yeah, you get a 15-foot line, which is obviously he's in it, and he has to make a con save. Is
and
it?
then, yeah, DC 13 con save.
All right, so roll d20, and his Constitution is a 0. They've pretty much got zeros across the board. That is a natural 1 on his part, so he is considered
Awesome.
blinded, I believe. He doesn't take any damage
Yes.
from it, right? He's just blinded for a round.
Nope, just blinded until the end of my next go.
All right, end of your next go. So you run, you hock a loogie into this guy's face. It hits him in the eyes, and he goes, "Oh, oh my god! Oh goodness! Oh!" And he's spending a turn wiping that out of his eyes. All right, very good work, Lamacon. Is that all you can do? All you want to do?
Yep, that's my go.
All right, end of the Lamacon's turn. Unicorn, you've used all of your legendary actions to heal yourself already, so now it is back to your turn. You get your legendary actions back. What do you want to do?
I'm going to move a tiny bit forward and heal the guy in the tree.
This one here,
Just to try and...
the wounded guy that's left in the battle.
How much movement did that use? Like
5 feet.
10? Yeah.
Just like 5 feet of movement to walk, to step forwards close enough to be able to touch him with your horn.
Yeah.
All right, so you
I'll
step
lean
forwards.
And what's the word? All words have gone. And graciously rub my horn up against his arm and against the wounds closing.
Right, very nice. And how much does he heal from that? Where is it? Healing touch 3 times per day. 2d8 plus 2.
2d8 plus 2.
Cool. So it's the same whether you're healing others or yourself. Yeah.
Yep. And I've now used 1 healing.
All right, 2d8 plus 2. Do you want me to roll it, or do you want to roll it in the chat?
You can roll it.
I can roll it. All right, so 2d8 plus 2. Roll 2d8 plus 2. That guy heals 14 hit points, which is more than he could possibly take anyway. He'd only taken 6 damage. So he is back up to fighting fit, full damage at 8 hit points total. Oh, he'd actually taken only 5 damage. They've only got 8 total. So you heal him. He gets absolutely recovers from all residue of the residual energy of the electricity that hit him in the first round of combat. The horn can boot me anytime. That is your action, I believe, right?
Yep.
Anything you want to do as your movement? You've got the rest of your movement, like 45 feet of movement.
I'm going to move slightly further back between my 2 top guys.
Between these guys.
The one guy is still in, and the splitter.
Yeah. All right. So you step back to there, and that is your turn. It is the end of the unicorn's turn. Anything you want to do with your whatchamacallit's legendary actions, Lamacon?
Not right now.
I'm gonna leave it for now. Yeah.
All right. It is the let's see. Still nobody has been attacked yet. This guy got attacked, right? From this one. I'm pretty sure this one attacked this one with fire since these guys were charmed, right?
He took 3 hits to the head from a firebolt, didn't he?
Yes, but I know that he definitely got hit. I'm just trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it was after these guys were charmed. So these guys seeing their friend getting hurt would have no longer been charmed, I think. Yeah, I think that's the case. So they are no longer...
Assuming that they saw him. Is the one at the bottom...
True. What does it say?
Through like 3 trees and nothing of entanglement.
True. Calm emotions. This indifference ends if the target is attacked or harmed by a spell, or it witnesses any of its friends being harmed. So yeah, you are perfectly right. This guy would not have witnessed it. This guy definitely would have, because he saw the firebolt streak across open terrain and attacking towards his friends. But this guy
he saw firebolts, but would he have seen it hit?
He knows that it was an attack against his comrades, so he wouldn't have necessarily. And also there is direct line of sight from him to him, so yeah, he would have seen it hit. He would have seen the attack, and he would have seen it hit, and he would have heard the screaming of his friend going, "Ah, I'm on fire!" So yeah, he's definitely no longer charmed, but his friend in these trees are. So on that means, oops, I took out the wrong one. I turned off bless and not the flag.
That's okay, Rob.
He's it's not okay. He's still blessed. He's no longer charmed. So he is going to. What can he do? He is going to use the opportunity to run and jump and run over to the tree over here. He's going to run into the foliage, and he holds up his electricity ring, and he's casting Shocking Grasp effectively on this guy, but a
Nice.
smaller, more mundane version of it for the ease of minions. That is that's a 15 to hit. So 15 beats their armor class, and he does 4 points of damage. So he takes him to wounded. Takes him to half his health. All right, so he runs up to him melee style. He shocks him in the tree. He had advantage on the attack because the guy's blinded, so I'll just roll again just in case it is a crit. It is not, so he definitely still hit, but it was not a crit. Then it is this guy. He just steps out from behind the trees because he's not afraid of anybody, and he's like, "What's happening? Why is everybody? Why are we fighting?
Guys, can we stop it? I don't know why we're fighting. What's going on?
This guy manages to pat his hair out, and then he cautiously sticks his head out from behind the tree, and he's going to take an attack at this guy again with the electrical bow. Roll d20. That's going to be a 13 to hit. His armor class is 12, plus 2 from being in the tree for half cover, so his armor class is 14, and so 13 will not quite hit. It would have hit him, but instead it hits the tree in front of him, and it just dissipates into the wood of the bark of the tree. Wood not being a very good electrical conductor. All right, then he is yielded already. This guy is still under the water. I should have that blue back for him, sorry. And he's blessed. He is going to continue. He's going to continue swimming upstream. He gets to here. Nobody knows where he is yet. Actually, Fancy and the llama know where he is, but these elves definitely don't. And that is his turn. I think that's all of the gnomes. I don't think I missed anybody, did I? So that is. This guy took a ready action for if somebody got attacked, didn't he? So he would have taken an attack on the llama. I forgot about that. That would have been an 11 to hit, so it wouldn't have hit you anyway. So as the llama jumps across the river, these two were sort of readying themselves to be like, I don't know who's making an attack here. I don't know if they're all charmed already, if the charm worked, or whether any of them succeeded against the charm effect. So I don't know who to attack. And they were getting what am I doing with an arrow? They're just getting their fingers. They got their fingers ready with the firebolt, and then you rear back your head and right in this guy's face. And then this guy made an attack at you, realizing that you weren't charmed. And then the blinded guy would have actually got the opportunity to attack you as well. It just would have been at a disadvantage because then by the time it triggers his attack, it would have been blinded. So with disadvantage, that would have been a 15 to hit. So that still would have hit you.
Wow, with disadvantage.
Yeah, you got a 14 and an 11 plus 4.
Nice.
So he gets. I rolled minimum, so 3 points of damage to you as he streaks off the firebolt just after you had spit a wad of something into his face, and he fires off a firebolt in your general direction, and it scorches your shoulder for 3 points of damage. All right. Then all the rest of that happened, and that's where we're at. So at the end of the gnome's turn, anyone want to use their legendary actions for anything?
The gnome in the tree with the
guy
blind guy.
Yep.
The bottom right.
Well, the bottom right gnome would be this guy. The gnome in the tree with the blind guy. That was descriptive enough. What happens with him?
Is it still the same? Has he got the shimmering shield? If not, I give him a shimmering shield.
Oh yeah.
If he's not already got one.
It would have run out at your last turn. So you gave him it. Before you jumped across the thing. So no, I think he would still actually have it.
Well, if not, I give him one anyway. So.
All right, let's assume you give him it now. All right.
Yeah.
He gets a shimmering shield on him. Nice. All right. that is the llama's legendary actions. Anything that the unicorn does?
Have I not used all mine? Because I used mine to heal.
I don't remember. Have you got them back since then? Have you had an
I
action
don't think.
since then? I tried to keep a track of yours, but I can't do it. You need to keep track of your own legendary actions because it's just too much for me to try and remember. So let's say you've used them this round, and you'll get them back very shortly. It is now the no, you wouldn't have used them this round because the only time you would get to use them is literally right now. It was your turn. You can't use them at the end of your own turn. And then it was the gnome's turn, and now that here we are. So yeah, you've got them all back. You've got all 3 legendary actions right now.
Right, then I'm going to give the one that's under attack a shimmering shield.
All right, so the one under attack gets shimmering shield. Where's the shield icon again? Nope, that's a trophy icon. How do I lose it every time? There we go. So he's blinded, wounded, and shielded.
Have all the icons.
Have all of the icons. And I'm going to give both of you inspiration for not acting selfishly, but acting in a way to protect your friends, because that is very much what Protector Guardians would do. And you're acting against your own interests, but in the favour of playing the characters the way they would be. So you both have inspiration right now.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
All right.
Yes.
Lady
Titan says, does the final gnome that's charmed, is he no longer charmed now because he's seen this fight going on?
The final gnomes that's charmed, I retconned the 2 attacks that these 2 happened. So nobody's actually attacked since he came round from this tree and was like, why is everybody fighting? Nobody's attacked since then yet.
Right, okay.
So he is still charmed. It is now the elf's turn. He's probably not going to be charmed for much longer, though, because now the elves are going to make some attacks. All right, so this guy's yielded. This guy, he's going to start attacking. I think he's going to attack the unicorn. Nobody knows that this guy's swimming upstream yet, so he's still not out there. These two are still going to have a furious battle between each other, like a shootout, firing out from behind the rock and behind the tree, respectively, firing at each other. So let's see how that one turns out first. So roll d20 plus 4, so that's a 10. 10 is not enough to hit. So the fire hits the rock and dissipates. This one's going to go for the llama. So I'll just do the same again.
I'm now thinking of the peaking episode of PUBG Logic.
Yeah.
Just like 2 of them behind the rock.
Goes third person and looks at it. Is that the peaking one? That's another 6. So that's a 10. So he misses also. They're terrible at firing at each other. This one has seen this guy run over to his friend though, and he's going to attack that one. And that's going to be a 16 to hit. So even with Shimmering Shield, which would take his AC up to a 13, 16 is going to be enough. So he gets hit by a firebolt that manages to penetrate through the Shimmering Shield. Come on, there it is. D6. 1 again. Bloody roll 20. That's 3 points of damage to this guy. He takes 3 points of fire damage as he gets hit. Only some of it makes it through the sweet-smelling candy floss-like shimmering shield around him, and burns his eyebrows right off. This guy sees that and is no longer charmed and goes,
Hey! Wait a minute! What is this? Why are we fighting? Why have I put my bow away? What's going on?
That was this guy's turn, and this guy's turn. All that's left is the blind guy. The blind guy's still blind until the end of your next turn, right, Llama?
Be blinded until the end of the Llamacorn's next turn.
Yeah, so he's still blinded. So for this round, what can he do? He's just been reached out and touched and zapped, so he knows that the gnome is somewhere there. So he's going to turn around and he's just going to try and punch this gnome in the face. He doesn't exactly know where it is, and all of his elvish graces have disappeared for a second because he's freaking out. He's suddenly blinded with llama spit in his face, and he's just been electrocuted to half of his health. So he's all of his elvish graces are out of the window while he tries to punch this guy blindly. He's got disadvantage because he's blind, which is good because he rolled a 19 or a 13. So 13 plus stuff will still hit. He just wildly reaches out, he grabs the wrist of this gnome, and he just pops him right in the face. which is going to be 1 plus his strength modifier. So he takes another 1 point of damage. So he's down to 6 points of damage now because he ain't got any strength. So he just pops him in the face and then down.
Ow! God, that's hardly elven of you.
That is all of the elves' turn. So back at the end of the turn, anything that you guys want to do. I think you've both used Shimmering Shield this round, so neither of you have anything other than a slam attack. What's the reach on your slam attack, Llama? Does it say 5 feet?
It's a melee attack. So yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes, like if your neck was long
5
enough,
feet. Yeah,
5 feet. There you go.
It's reach 5 foot. Yeah.
Reach 5 feet. So you don't have the reach enough to strike this guy. You didn't get yourself to within 5 feet of him, so there's no one to slam. So in that case, Lamacon, it is back to you. You get all 3 of your legendary actions back right now. Mark that down somewhere so that we don't forget again.
Okay.
Slam attack.
Right.
Nice case skunk. Slam attack.
Decisions. Okay. So yeah, the problem I've got at the moment is that the Bless is a concentration spell, and most of my other spells are also concentration spells. So.
Well, you can choose to keep it going, or you don't. Or you just don't cast a spell and make some slam attacks instead. You could try and take out some of these minions. You can see that this guy is blinded and wounded, so you could easily take him out with a slam. If you give him a swift kick, a swift knock to the ground with your neck, he'd probably yield pretty quickly. London says, "Start slamming."
I think I'm gonna let my little gnome guy have the glory on the blind guy. And I'm going to make a run at the guy bottom left behind the rock.
Nice. All right. So you charge forwards.
And go for a slam attack on him.
All right. So 20 feet movement. You just charge 20 feet towards him, and he sees you coming from behind the rock. His eyes go wide with fear. Make a slam attack. 16. That definitely hits. That definitely hits. He's only got a 12 armor class, so you can roll your slam damage, your slammage. Pretty sure that's going to be enough because I'm pretty sure you can't do a. Let's have a look. 12 damage. Yeah, that's going to be enough to instantly take him out of the running. He puts his hands up, and as you get to him, yield. As you bring your neck into it for a big old slam. That's enough. Okay. He is not used to fighting against the guardians of the forest, so he instantly takes him out of the fight. I'm out. You win. All right. Anything else you can do? Oh, you've got multi-attack, right? But and nobody else is within range, unless you can spit again as part of your multi-attack. I don't remember.
No, the multi-attack is just the slam and the horn.
One slam, one horn. All right, yeah. So nobody else is within horn range of you right now. So is there anything else you can do? You've only used 20 of your 50 feet of movement. So technically you could move to within range of somebody else and then use your multi-attack horn.
Yep, so run up to the rock, slamming into the guy that's behind the rock, and then carrying on the momentum, going round, curving round to the right, and then charging up to this guy in the tree that's behind Fancy, and then if I can.
Absolutely, yeah. So you charge up to this guy, lifting your head back as if you're about to slam him, and he yields immediately. So you just use your momentum to go around him. You curl around to the side. You kind of take it on a slanted slope, and your horns, your hooves dig up a bunch of the dirt in this area here as you take a real sharp corner, and then you charge down at this guy in the tree. He sees you come in. He freaks out a little bit. Make a horn attack. Make an attack roll first to see if you hit. 27, nat 20. All right, yeah, this guy's definitely going down. What's your horn modifier? Your horn attack? The damage of it?
8 plus 4.
D8 plus
10.
4. 10 points plus another D8 because it was a crit. And so, yeah, this guy has definitely gone down in that single attack. So again, 2 of them just yield immediately as he starts to you charge and you put your horn down as if you're going to spear him. You know that you probably wouldn't because he is an innocent guy, but you make it look like, yeah, I'm gonna take you out here. So you've got a second to yield before you go. And he puts his hands up, yield. And you pull up short. Just like spraying up dirt at him like you're a snowboarder that just back into the bottom and sprays everybody in snow. It's kind of like that, but with muck and dirt. All right, you've yielded 2 of them in a single round there. Good llama attacks.
That was epic, Kay.
Nice work.
I mean, I hate you, but wow.
The llama's doing the work. All right, that is the end of the llama's turn. Unicorn, you've got 1 more thing, but nobody's within range to use it on a hoof attack. So now it is your turn. Oops. It's now your turn. You get your 3 legendary actions back. And what do you do on your turn?
I'm gonna come down.
Have you done anything that would have required you to make a concentration check against this entangle, by the way? Because have you been hit since you cast entangle? No, I don't think you have. You've healed a bunch of people, but you haven't done any. You haven't made any attacks, or you haven't been attacked since you cast entangle.
I've generally capered about and healed.
So this entangle is still up then, and it's still technically restraining this guy.
Is the charm overrule that?
Oh yeah, charm person. Is that no? Was it calm emotions? Isn't it? Is that a?
Emotions,
it is concentration. Yeah, calm emotions is concentration. Yeah. So the entangle would have disappeared at that point. So the vines wither back into the ground.
Yeah.
All right.
But I haven't done anything. Yeah, but I haven't done anything else that would have stopped calm emotions. I don't think. No,
calm emotions would still be active, but you can tell that nobody is now succumbed to its effect anymore. So you can choose to drop that if you want to with no effect.
Okay. I'm gonna come straight down south and try and hail my wee friend.
This one here.
Yeah.
All right. So you come galloping down here. That's only 25 feet movement, so you've still got 25 feet if you need it. And then as your action, you cast heal on this one. You heal 2d8 plus 2, so it's a minimum of 4 healing. So you definitely heal and back up to full. Because he's only got 4 damage anyway, so you can't not. Oh, and he's no longer blinded because at the end of the unicorn's turn, he's managed to wipe out. He wipes the rest of the gob out of his eyes.
What? Why would she spit on me? That is so gross. It's just so unnecessary.
Yeah, because she's just rancid. That's
he has hooves running towards and looks to you and is like,
"Did you say that? That was so gross. It's like you've never spat on an enemy. It's just gross. So gross."
Yeah. I would never, and this is why unicorns are generally better.
You see, everyone, this is why.
Shouts out to these guys watching. You see that? You see, this is why you want a unicorn. Anyway, we're in the middle of a fight. Thank you for the heals. All right. That is your action and half of your movement. Do you want to use any of your movement to go anywhere else?
So I've got 25.
You've got 25 feet more movement.
So I could charge at K.
You could, yeah. You could get up into K's melee.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Bring it.
All right. So you run directly towards her.
Yeah. Since all my other shit is finished, then yeah.
All right. End of Unicorn's turn. Lamacon, do you want to use any legendary actions? You've got all 3 of them back again, remember.
All right. Okay. So if
I've got charges up. Oh no, I can't because it's an action.
Yeah, but you charge and then you make an attack.
Yes. Apologies.
So have you moved at me, but you haven't attacked me yet?
Yeah, because it's the charge ability says if you move 20 feet and then make an attack or something like that, doesn't it? Something like that worded. If
the unicorn moves at least 20 foot straight towards target and then hits it with a horn attack in the same turn, the target blah 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 blah
blah blah blah blah. Yeah. So you didn't have an action left to make one horn attack. So I'm okay, like, because the rounds are kind of like everything's happening at once. I'm okay with saying that if you make a horn attack at the very start of your next turn, then I'll still consider that you've just used that momentum. So I'll still give you the charge ability. It's like sequential. It's
consequential.
Yeah, consequential kind of thing. You've just run up and then you make an attack. It doesn't have to be on the same turn in my games. But anyway, it is now the end of your unicorn turn. So Llamacorn, you get the chance to interrupt with a legendary action if you want to take it.
So if Fancy has just charged at me and is now in range, then I can use a slam attack as a legendary action.
You can. You want to do that?
I'm just typing it in. Roll 1d20 plus 5.
That is a 23 to hit. That is enough to hit. So as the unicorn comes charging at you, you turn around and you bring your neck back, and then you slam it against the front of the neck of the unicorn, and you do 5 points of damage. 5 points, is that it?
5.
Oh yeah, you got a 1 and a 2, and then a modifier of 2. Rolled pretty neff, but hey, every little counts. 5 points of damage to the unicorn as a legendary action as you come sliding in. Bam! It is now... That was the end of the unicorn's turn. It is now the gnome's turn. What are the gnomes going to do? Who have we got? This guy's yielded, but no longer restrained. Why does it do this? Stupid roll 20. Let's continue this little shootout first to see what happens with that. 4. God damn, they can't hit each other. They can't even hit each other's armor class, let alone hit covered armor classes. So
It's like they don't really want to fight.
I know, right? He just pulls out.
They're just making a play. They're both kind of going, locking eyes,
like,
going, "Yeah, we're just going to pretend."
Then we don't get on fire. So he does that thing. This guy is going to jump out of the water now, and I'm going to give him surprise for having taken 2 rounds to get there. He now gets surprise, so he gets an advantage against this guy who's in the trees. He didn't see it coming. He didn't see that there was a gnome in the water. So how's that going to play out? He's either got a 14 or a 2. All of that for a 14. 14 is enough to hit with his +2. He's got a 14 armor class, so it's just enough to hit. He jumps out of the water and he casts he claps his hands together, brings out his bow, and fires off an electricity arrow towards the guy, who takes... he takes 6 points of damage. He is wounded, but not out of the fight yet. Then, so that's this guy. Oh, and he's blessed as well, so he would have got his +4 to that roll if he'd have missed. Now it's these two. That shimmering shield guy shouldn't have that anymore, I don't believe. So he's going to lose his shimmering shield, but he's going to make a melee attack against the guy that's in the tree, who's also got a shimmering shield, so his armor class is a 14. So let's see if he can hit that. That is a 14 exactly. Oh no, it's a 16. A 16 to hit, and he's blessed, so it would have been a hit anyway. So he's going to do... roll the... 4 points of damage, so he's back to being wounded. He's taken half his hit points. And then this guy is going to... He's seen the unicorn charging his friend and master, so he's going to run out over here. He's going to take a straight up shot at the unicorn. That is a 15 to hit, so I believe that'll hit your armor class. And you take... minimum damage again. You take 3 points of damage. 3 points of lightning damage as you are hit from behind with a electricity sort of crackling of energy, and it hits you. That is all of the gnomes, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is the end of the gnome's turn. Is there anything that either of you want to do as a legendary action? Llamacorn first, being that you've got the initiative.
I can make another slam.
You can make another slam because you've still got 2 legendary actions. So a slam attack against Fancy. Roll it in the chat. That is a 22.
Ooh,
Definitely going to hit.
I like this bot. This
It's going to
bot likes
work, isn't
me.
it? So yeah, the bot is enjoying you at the moment. So roll that damage. That is 9
9.
points of damage. So Fancy, you get slammed for 9 points of damage, and for the first time this fight, Fancy starts showing signs of being wounded, signs of being bloodied, signs of being at less than half health. The crowd starts to as a big, huge, hefty boom of two heavy, large animals, horse-sized animals, start boom slamming into each other with extreme force, and the unicorn comes away from it wincing and kind of limping a little bit on the front leg. The fight is not over yet, far from over. Fancy, do you want to use any legendary actions?
I'm going to cast Shimmering Shield on myself.
Nice. Okay, so Shimmering Shield for 2 of your action points. You've got an armor class of 14 now. So you see this this sort of same whitish purple swirl comes out of your horn and explodes into sparkles. It just covers over your body and gives you a little bit more protection from attacks. It is now the elves' turn. The elves, these two have yielded. This one's yielded. They start to back away and to show that they're no longer part of the fight. They're like, okay, thank you. And this guy now he's not entangled anymore. Goes over here and sits behind this rock to watch the fight. It's just the 2 wounded elves that are in the fight. This guy is within melee. This guy is not. He's just been attacked. What does he do? He's been having a shootout with this guy who's behind cover, but this guy's a lot easier to hit, so he's going to shoot him. Roll d20. Hey, that's definitely enough to hit with a 17. So that gnome is going to take a bit of damage here. Hey, max damage this time. Max damage. So he's going to go all the way down to 2 hit points. He's almost out of the fight, but not quite, because he's a little hardier than these elves are. That is his turn. Then it's this guy. He's going to make a melee attack against the guy next to him. Neither of them are blinded or anything like that, so there's no. It's just a straight roll. That is a miss with an 8 to hit. So he brings his hand up to fire a firebolt at him, but he's a little concerned that if he sets this guy on fire, who's like literally next to him, it might affect him himself negatively. So he misses with his attack. At the end of the elves' turn, do either of you want to make a legendary action?
No.
I've got one more slam.
You do. You're going to slam?
Why not?
Why not? Why not indeed? two hit points. Bob's come back from rest.
And I did that. No, I didn't.
Did you get a 341 to hit? Yep, that's going to hit.
Yes, that hits. Right. 1d2. There we go.
Also, how does that even work?
I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, I'm like, what does that even
Roll
mean?
120 plus 5.
I guess
It
341.
parses. So what it does is it reads in the arguments that have come in over with the roll. So it then parses it looking for a D, and if it doesn't find the D, I'm assuming it then moves on and then parses the next number. So it will have read the 120 as the max on the random number generator and then applied the thing.
So it looks for the D, and if it
Math.
doesn't find the D, it goes home disappointed.
Yeah. Always.
All right.
Yeah, I
So
probably didn't want code, but there you go. That's...
Nerd. Look at this
Shut
nerd,
up.
everybody. Psh, listen to this nerd who knows how to code. Let's get back to Dungeons and Dragons. All right. So
you better check all the codes from now on with the new TT commands.
Oh no.
There'll be a small error somewhere.
Just a tiny little bug. I'll be like, oh no, what have I done? Aftermath gets an 11 on the slam attack. That is not enough to hit, especially with this shimmering shield. And so you slam out this time, but the unicorn's ready for it. The unicorn brings the horn round into the direction that you're about to slam, and you realise at the last second and pull your neck back so that you don't pierce yourself on the horn. Nice work, nice work. It is now... Fancy, you get the chance for a legendary action as well, because it was the end of the elf's turn. You've cast
No,
Shimmering
okay.
Shield on yourself, but you've still, I believe, got one more, so you can make a Hooves attack against the llama if you want.
Yeah, but if I do that, I can't charge.
Ah, true. Well done. All right, so you don't use your Hooves attack. Instead, it is now...
Not on this go.
All right, Llamacorn. It is now your turn. You get your legendary actions back.
She's looking pretty beat up.
She's still got some fight in her, but she's showing signs of having taken quite a few hefty hits from you now. Finish her. Go for the kill.
Shut up, Rogue.
There's nobody. You're not gonna take her out in this round. You feel,
No.
but you feel like you could do it in a couple more rounds if you keep wailing.
No, I think I'm just gonna go with a multi-attack.
All right, multi attack.
'Cause
Slam and
it's-
horn.
Yeah, because if I disengage to do anything, that's a whole action,
Mm-hmm.
and I might as well just keep attacking.
All right, let's do it.
So we'll go for a slam.
Mm-hmm. So the slam is going to be a 20
Dirty
to hit.
20.
Dirty 20, that'll hit. So roll that slam attack, slam damage. Slammage. That is
Or
7
7
points.
damage.
7 points of slammage. Boom, boom, boom. So you you manage to you bring your head round to hit. Fancy brings the horn up and you prevent it. You pull up your neck just in time, but you bring it round to the other side and wham around the back of the head. Oof, slam Fancy's head the other way. And then you bring your horn around and try and scratch right across the front. And you get a 19. That's going to hit even with the shimmering shield. And that hits for...
D8 plus 4.
You get 10 points
10.
of slash. Ooh, oof. Fancy's not looking good. Fancy gets a big old hefty... It cuts a good 2 inches deep right across the flank. Where's the flank on a horse? I don't know horse terms.
Side
The
of the bottom.
So you cut right down the flank of the unicorn. After you've slammed in with the side of your neck, you drop your horn, and as you bring your head back, you cut with the horn right across the side. And Fancy starts to bleed. What colour is unicorn blood? Silvery, like in Harry Potter?
I always thought silver.
Silver. Some silver blood starts to drop out and drip onto the grass below it. You're seeing that Fancy is showing some serious signs of being wounded now, and the elves are all a little bit worried. All right, that was your Llamacorn attack, I believe. That was your entire turn, unless you want to move
That was
away.
my
Anyway.
turn, yeah. Nope, because that means
Yep.
disengaging. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
at the
I'm done.
end of your turn, Unicorn, any attack at the end of the turn? No, you're saving up for the charge attack, right?
Correct.
All right, so now it is
No,
your.
it might be too late. But
We'll see. All right, so Unicorn, you've just charged in. Chronologically, this is what's just happened from your perspective. You run in and you bring your horn down to make the horn attack. You get slammed. Poof, you get slammed again. Poof, you get struck, but then you've still got the momentum, and you're going to try and dig the horn in under the chin, effectively, aren't you? ZV686, thank you for the follow. So make a horn attack, and we'll see if you manage to strike.
So we'll do 20 plus 7.
Yep. So that is a 26 to hit. That is definitely enough to hit, so you can roll damage.
So I'm a 3d8 plus 4.
For the horn, is that right? Let me have a look. I can bring up the unicorn stats right here. Horn attack. It's 1d8 plus 4 normally, but because of your charge, where does it say it? You get an extra 2d8. Yep, 3d8 plus 4 damage. Might even the battlefield a little bit here. 17 damage in one single attack.
Ooh.
Which takes you down to wounded. The llama is also now showing signs of being wounded below half health, and this battle is starting to get a little more tense. Lots of excitement from the people over here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people over there. So, you have horned attacked. You've got your multi-attack though, Unicorn, right? Multi-attack, you can make a hooves and a horn, so you can now make a hoof attack as well. It's part of the same action.
Let's do that.
All right, roll it. 24 definitely hits, so roll that damage. 2d6 plus 4, that is 6 points of damage. Nice work. All right, so that is another 6 there. So you get a lot of momentum behind that horn. Bam! Llama, that does not feel very good. But as the horn gets pulled back out and you start to bleed your own silvery blood onto the ground, the hooves come back on the unicorn in front of you and comes down slamming into your chest. You hear some shattering of glass right where it's hit you in the chest, it's broken the wine bottle that was in your inside pocket.
No,
No, not my wine.
Wine on the ground.
All right. Unfortunately, that was the minimum damage you could have done with your hooves because you got bloody
I
2
know.
1s. Sucky. Oh well, such is the way the dice gods work.
Right.
So that is your hoof attack and horn attack. Do you want to move anywhere on your turn?
If I move, she gets a chance of opportunity.
If you move away, yeah, you can strafe round her as long as you stay within melee range. But yeah, if you move out of melee range, she gets an attack of opportunity.
I'm not going to move. Just some points.
All right, so you stay where you are. At the end of the unicorn's turn, can you make a perception check for me, please, Fancy? If the unicorn doesn't have a specified perception modifier, let me just check.
wisdom, isn't it?
They don't. Yeah,
Is
then
it
it's wisdom
wisdom?
based. It's just straight +3.
So D.
I'll give you advantage on this for reasons.
For reasons.
For reasons that I will get into depending on whether or not you succeed at it.
So D20 plus 3.
Yeah, d20 +3 and do it twice. Take the higher. 19's probably enough to see it anyway, but do it again in case.
Surely the loss of the wine bottle does extra damage to the llama. Yeah, psychic damage, yeah.
Psychic damage. All right,
No!
so 21.
That's a very good point, Danica.
As you bring your hooves down and slam into the llama in front of you, and you take her to being less than half her hit points and showing signs of being wounded, and now both of you are showing signs of being wounded. You hear some oohs and ahs and some gasps and groans and things from the crowd watching. And with your sort of inherent ability to know where every living creature is within your domain, your forests, you can inherently tell that there are 8 voices of surprise and horror and gasp and intrigue watching from over here. But you realize that you count back to when you first arrived in this clearing and you saw 9 people in the forest. One of them you can't even feel the presence of. It's like he's not even there. This guy over here, this large guy who's sort of standing in the cave doorway, for some reason you can't feel his presence. That thought occurs to you. That thought occurs to you as this in the midst of this battle. Right, at the end of your turn, it is now the gnome's turn, I believe. Let's have a look.
Do I get a legendary action?
Yeah, sure. You get a legendary action. Actually, can you make a perception check as well, please?
What's my wisdom? I am rolling well.
Nat 20 +3.
There you go.
As this fight is going on and the oohs and ahs of the crowd, you also notice that there's 8 people that you can feel inherently with just your innate knowledge to know where everything is at all times. But you know that there's 9 people there because you can also, with your inherent knowledge to know where everything is at all times, you also can feel that the blades of grass around this cave mouth are being displaced as something starts to walk forwards. And so you kind of risk a glance. You risk a glance back over your shoulder and you see a very large gentleman, maybe like 7 feet tall. And he starts to just walk forwards, and you realize you can't feel this guy. And he's walking forwards, and he is intent on this battle as well. He is intent on knowing who's going to be the winner, but not in like an expression of awe, as is being shown on the rest of them, like awe or terror. This guy is hungry to know what is the outcome of this battle. And it's a sense of foreboding comes upon your mind, but you're not sure why. You're usually able to feel whether a creature is good at heart or evil at heart. This guy, it's like he's not even there. You can't feel anything about him. It is now your turn, it's now the start of the gnome's turn, so at the end of Unicorn's turn, you can take an attack if you want to.
Are you back? Okay. I'd like to make a slam attack on the unicorn, but rather than going for damage, I want to try and do it to get her prone, to get her on the ground.
All right, you're changing it into a shove attack effectively rather than a slam, which is great. All right, so how this works is you make a contested strength check. So you make an athletics check, and then Fancy either makes an athletics or an acrobatics check, Fancy's choice, and whoever wins is what happens.
So strength, yeah?
Mm-hmm. 21. You've been rolling real well. Fancy, you need to make a strength check of sorts as well, either strength or acrobatics. A 16. So a 21 beats 16. So you manage to sweep. You bring down your neck for a slam attack. Fancy, you feel it coming, and you feel like this might be the end for you. So you kind of tense up. But then it seems like Kay was going for that and sweeps your legs instead. Bam! And you get knocked prone. You are. Let's say that way. That looks a little bit more prone for a unicorn, doesn't it? There you go. On your back. You are slammed prone onto the ground. That was what you did as your legendary action. It is now the gnome's turn. The gnomes are fighting on your side. This guy is going to continue to try and take out this guy next to him. Roll D20. That's a miss. He's not got it.
They're just flapping their hands at each other.
Effectively, yeah. In the trees. This guy has got cover. This guy has not got cover. Both of them are going to attack this guy. And this guy, what's he going to do? Roll. I think all three of them are going to go for this guy. They're going to try and take him out. But let's go one at a time in case the first guy takes him out. Roll D20. The first guy, that's a natural 20. So, yeah, that guy's gone. Because the minimum I could do is 4, and he's got 2 damage left. So this guy yields to the first guy's electricity attack. Yield! And he starts to back away. This guy, seeing that he's yielded, he'll go for Fancy. But now that Fancy's prone, he actually gets disadvantage on the attack. Any ranged attack against somebody prone has disadvantage. So the first one is going to hit, but the second one with disadvantage is a natural 2, so that one's going to miss. So he fires off his electrical arrow just at Fancy's body, but right before Fancy gets swept, and it slams. The unicorn slams down to the ground, and the electricity dissipates somewhere into the forest behind. This guy is going to go for the guy behind the tree. That is going to be a 3, so a 7. Not enough to hit. He's not sure he's being very useful right now, so he's going to run across here, and with his movement, he's going to jump over onto the log, and then jump over onto there. And then he is going to use his movement to run down into this tree. All right.
Nat 20 on my perception check. I see you following.
I see you, Adza. Thank you very much for the follow. You've joined us in the middle of a unicorn versus llamacorn fight to see who wins it all. Who takes it home? At the end of the gnome's turn, both of you get your opportunity for legendary actions if you want to take them. I believe the llama has used all of your legendary actions. You've made 3 separate slam attacks, right?
Yeah, but then it came round to my turn again, so I got them back.
Did you not?
And then
you did. You did, yeah. So you made 1 at the end of Unicorn's turn. Yeah. So yeah, you've used 2 of the 1 of the 3 now, haven't you? Yeah.
So if I can see the gnome that's just run into the tree, then I'll cast Shimmering Shield on him.
You can. and you'll cast Shimmering Shield, and he gets a shield. Shimmers around him. All right. Fancy, what do you want to do?
My legendary actions recharge at the end of this turn, don't they?
No, you've got them back because you got them back on your turn, and then it's only been the gnomes since then. So this is the first opportunity you would have had to actually use them anyway. So you've definitely got 3 still.
Okay, so I'm going to heal myself.
All right, that sounds pretty wise. 2d8 plus 2. You healed yourself 8 points of healing. Am I reading that right?
That's what I've got. Yep.
That's 8. All right, you're back up to 17. Still showing signs of being wounded, but not quite on death's door at least.
I know, right?
All right, and then it is your elven friend's turn. 4 of the 5 of them have yielded. They've started to walk away. This one is not yet yielded. We'll continue to try and attack. Actually, we'll turn and see this guy who's just walked into the tree. But if he leaves range, attack. He's going to continue to strike at the one next to him because that's the smartest thing to do right now. That is going to hit, so that is going to do 5 points of damage to this guy. Oh, he had 6 left, so he's got. Let me just check that. That was 5 damage, so he's got 1 left. He's showing signs of being wounded, but he's still alive. Hardy little gnomes. That was all of the elves' turns. So I believe, has anybody got any legendary actions still?
We've both used them all up now.
Both used them all up, so it's back to the top of the round and the Llamacon's turn. Give me 1 second. Yes, so Llamacon's turn. Your turn. What do you want to do?
I would like to have a quick peek over my shoulder at where that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have a quick peek over the shoulder, and you can see that he is just hiding. It's not really hiding. He's just standing by this bush watching, and he's like, it's almost like he's salivating. His chest is heaving, and he's looking at you under his brow, and he seems like he's very excited to know who's going to win this fight.
All right, so as the unicorn is lying prone on the floor, I want to get right above her, so almost as if I'm standing on top of her, looking straight down into her face, right in the eyes.
So you step right over to the front. There we go.
I think I've proven my worth. Are you ready to give up?
Ooh, fighting words. She's asking you to yield, Fancy. What does Fancy say? What do you reckon? Would you keep fighting? You've got 17 hit points. She's got 22. You've got 1 conscious ally. She's got 2 and 2 halves.
I think from the unicorn's point of view, I'm also quite worried about that guy.
You're also conscious of the fact that you can't see him. Like, you can see him visually, but in your mind, in the way that you are familiar with everything, it's like he doesn't exist.
Yeah, so I'm assuming we know where he is.
Yeah. You know where he is from the way that he is displacing the other leaves and the branches and the grasses of the forest.
There's a hole.
But there is a hole where he is. And when you look in that direction, you can see him visually. He is a man that is standing there, but you should be able to feel his life essence, and you can't.
Yeah, and we're still protectors, so
Unbreakable.
Are you ready to admit that we are at least equals?
What do you say?
You have fought a very good fight, and you proven to be a fierce warrior. So yes, yeah.
As you say
I'm gonna
yes,
Oh,
as you say yes to
sorry.
this rare sort of this offer of a truce, this offer of an acceptance of equaldom, you hear a no rage out from this man, and he says, "One of you must go. One of you must go down, so that I can take out the last one." And as he shouts this, a horn starts to sprout from the center of his head,
Oh my god.
and his skin starts to
Okay.
go. His skin starts to go gaunt and grey, and you see.
So can I
Yeah.
can I still take an action?
You we'll get to that in 1 second. This is a
Okay.
reaction. This is a reaction that he takes to what just happened, and it was like a readied
Plot
action effectively.
twist!
And you see, as he changes figure from a human into a humanoid-sized narwhal.
Oh my god.
That's a little big actually. He came in a little bit too large. He says,
With the net 20.
He says, "I will be the victor! One of you must die!" And he takes a turn in the initiative order. And
So
I'm going to
he's,
roll for him.
Oh wow.
He's a land narwhal.
He's a land narwhal. Yes, he is a humanoid-sized narwhal.
Narwhal, wandering over the country.
Walking over country.
Getting into trouble.
Alright, he is rolled initiative and he gets a 12 total, so he's going to go after the unicorns. Alright, so, oops, sorry. Ooh, that wouldn't have been pleasant for people with headphones on. As he turns into this narwhal and his skin goes gaunt and sort of
You give the beggar man few of your
almost
coins.
how do you describe dolphin skin? It's kind of like slick skin and
Rubbery.
rubbery, yeah, a slick rubbery skin to his face, and it slips down into sort of a blowhole like appendage appearance on the sort of back of his head, and then large teeth and flipper like forearms. He's got a muscular body, but around his neck hangs a pendant of sorts that seems to have significance because it's the only thing that he's wearing besides his sort of loincloth like undergarments to keep it PG. So he has revealed his true self, and he has revealed why he was interested in knowing who the victor of this battle was, because he was, like the Japanese fighting fish, going to wait for one of you to take out the other and then take out whoever was left standing. But seeing that you've come to a truce of sorts, he has had to reveal himself and set in motion his plan early. It is now still the Llamacorn's turn. You've said this. You've spoken as a free action effectively. You've agreed on a truce. He has interrupted with his reaction, and now it is the Llamacorn's turn. What do you do?
So after our conversation and then looking around and seeing what the fuck just happened with the narwhal, I look down at Fancy and give a little smile, and then I lower my head, touch her horn to mine, or my horn to hers, and cast Healing Touch.
Nice. All right, let's roll it. 2d8 plus 2, right? Nice.
Yep,
5 points.
Rolled 5.
Nice. 5 points of healing. So add 5 to that. You are back up to 22. Still showing signs of being wounded, but now you're equal on 22 hit points each. That was your.
And then I will back off so she has the space to get up.
And then you step off of her so she can get up on her turn. All right. It is now the unicorn's turn. What do you do?
That's okay as well. I've got 1 healing touch left.
All right. So you stand up. You've got 1 healing touch. You touch your new ally, and heal 2d8 plus 2. Wraith is Team Narwhal. Wraith's wanting to watch the world burn. All right, so you heal.
Thank you.
10 hit points. You're feeling a little bolstered. That was your action. You've got movement if you want to take it.
No.
No, stay where you are. All right. At the end of the unicorn's turn, you've got your legendary actions if you want to take them, Llama.
I will do. I'll do heal. No, did I already had a slam? No, I
No,
didn't.
no,
No, it's a new round,
yep,
so
new
it's
round.
fine. Yeah, heal self.
Heal self. All right, roll them.
2,
Ardana is also team now,
8.
Wall. Legendary action.
12.
Healing hug. Ooh, 12. Nice. You get yourself back up to not being wounded anymore. He doesn't seem to like that he's had to reveal his plan too early, and now you're healing each other and healing yourselves. He's going to have his work cut out for him to try and take you both out. All right. That was your action. That was your legendary action. It is now the Narwhal's turn. The Narwhal will use his movement to run towards you, and as he runs, he's kind of moving in this sort of a fashion as he runs. So he's still got he's got legs. He's got 2 legs. He's bipedal, but he's still moving. He's moving in a swimming sort of fashion as he runs. He darts between the trees. He darts between the trees. He gets to here, and then he lifts his horn up, and you guys hear behind you a sort of raging sound from this river as all of the water of the river starts to raise up and then come tidal forcing towards you guys. So I'm going to look out the spell here.
Hey Joe, do I need to sketch what this freak looks like?
Yes, please do. Humanoid narwhal, please.
In grey?
Each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw. So I need everybody in this area, so the 2 of you and your 4 allies here, to all make dexterity saving throws. Or you're going to take some damage.
Is this a magical effect?
This is a
We
spell,
have
yes.
advantage,
So you have advantage
I
on the
believe.
save. And
So we both do.
your friends here all get bless. All 3 of the blessed ones are on this side of the river, so they all have an advantage as well.
Well, I rolled a 23 on my first roll, but do I need to roll again?
No,
Yeah.
you saved. So the only guy who failed is this guy, and so I'll add his bless. Actually, I won't add his bless. He got a 3. He's not going to save with it, even with a 4. All right, so Fancy saved. Aftermath saved. Let's see. Aftermath and Fancy both saved, and all but this guy saved as well. So this guy gets just pummeled for 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and he is swept away. He's knocked prone. He's swept away. He was already on 2 hit points, so he is actually killed by the attack. It seems your narwhal friend is not as preoccupied about preservation of life as you guys are, and so he is killed by the attack and then swept back into the water. The other friends all take half of the bludgeoning because they made the attack, so they made their save rather. So this guy's actually not even dead for it. He goes down only 6 points because he was on full. This guy goes down 6. Unfortunately, he is on 1, so he also dies and gets swept into the water. And this guy was on 4. He takes 6 and unfortunately is also killed by the water. And also all of them are swept in. The 2 of you saved, so you each only take 6 points of bludgeoning damage from the water. Minus 6. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage from the water. I believe that's all that you have to do.
Right, he's going down.
Yeah, so all of the water spreads out across the land now. And that was his action to do, the narwhal's action. It is now the end of his turn. Both of you guys get to make legendary actions if you want to take it.
I used mine to heal, didn't I? So.
Yes, you did, yes.
Yeah.
So Fancy, you get to use legendary actions if you want to heal self.
Self.
6 points of healing, so you heal yourself exactly what you just took from the water damage. Plus 6. There we go. At the end of his turn, you got to do that. It is now the start of the gnomes' turns. So these 3 are dead and getting swept away in the water, unfortunately. This guy's still conscious, this guy's still conscious, and they both know... this guy's still conscious, and he yielded, so he's technically still in the fight. He just yielded. And that's the good thing about not actually having killed them before. So he uses his movement to get to there. He's going to use the dash action to work out what's going on. He's going to use the dash and get to there. This guy is going to... let's see. He's just seen this water take out a few of his friends, so he's going to stay where he is on this side of the river. And he can't see the narwhal from there, so what can he do instead? He's going to dodge. He's going to use his movement to get over there to where he might be able to see a little better. He is no longer out of it. This guy is blessed still. He is going to use his movement to get to here. Actually, where can he see the narwhal? He can get to there, and then he's going to take an attack with his electricity bow. In fact, as he slaps it together and conjures the bow, he pulls it back, and then the ring, he shifts it to a different mode, and he pulls it back, and now a tangible solid arrow appears, also crackling in energy, and he fires it off. This time he's actually he's not worried about non-lethal damage anymore, so he's going for serious damage on this guy. Let's see if he can hit. Nat 20. Hey, Nat 20. Yes boy. I like it when it gets thematic like that. +2, so that's 10 points of damage to this guy. All right. You'll notice that with him I'm counting up rather than counting down, because I don't want you to see how much he's actually got to begin with. Nice work, gnome fella. All right, at the end of the gnome fella's turn, Llamacorn, you've used your healing. Unicorn, you've used all of yours to heal. The narwhal will use his legendary actions to give himself a shimmering shield. That is the Llamacorn's legendary action done. It is now the elf people's turn. None of them are going to worry about being yielded anymore, because all's fair in love and war. So they are no longer out of the battle, and they're going to turn around and try and help you guys take out this narwhal. So they're going to first use some of their movement to get up round the other side over here to try and like box him in from all sides like this. Unfortunately, their comrade has just been swept away into the river, and they're all four of them going to make attacks with their actually, what have they got that they can do that's non-lethal, that is lethal rather than non-lethal? Does Ray of Frost's negative speed stack, I wonder? Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost says, on a hit, it takes cold damage and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. I would say that there's no reason why that wouldn't stack, right? So they're all gonna turn to Ray of Frost instead of Firebolt, and they're gonna try and reduce this guy's speed so that he can't go anywhere. So roll d20. So that one is going to hit just. The next guy is also going to hit. The next guy is going to miss, and the next guy is nat 20. All right. So that's basically 4 hits.
Like the more layers of frost that encase in the slower he moves.
+8. So that's 19 points of damage total. And his speed is reduced by, I'm not sure if it should stack or not, so I'll compromise and say his speed is reduced by 25 for the round. And he is just, she's peppered by these frosty sort of rays from their fingers, which as they hit him turn into ice and encase one layer upon the other, and it just slows down his hips and his joints around his legs and makes him a lot harder to move around while he's online. That is their turn. At the end of their turn, he gets to use his last action, but he's only got a horn attack, and he can't do that. So it is back to the top of the round. Llamacorn, it's your turn. You get your legendary actions back.
So I'm going to try. I'm gonna run past him to get behind him. Not close enough for a melee attack, but close enough for a spit.
All right.
So as I'm running past him, I take another spit
Yeah,
attack.
so you spit at him and then you end up over about here. Unless you wanted to be on the other side.
I was thinking more around the other side because it's a straight run up through the trees then.
Oh yeah, so you run round
But,
like
yeah.
round this side of Fancy. You run up this way and you get to here instead. Boom.
Dan's just reminded you, Kay, that you've got inspiration.
True, you both have
I
inspiration.
know. I haven't needed it yet. This isn't an attack. This is a Constitution saving throw on him
True,
anyway.
Constitution
This
saving
is
throw on him. He has to roll
DC
that.
13.
DC 13. He got a 6, and he certainly doesn't have a +7
Yes!
modifier, so he fails that and is blinded for a round until the end of your next turn. That's going to be super useful. So he's got this shimmering sort of energy over him that his comes out of his horn, and his shimmering shield kind of looks like strands of seaweed that are just kind of eerily floating around him, offering him a little bit of protection. But you run forwards and whoop, just huck a big wad of something gross from the deepest pit of your third stomach, and it hits him right in the face as he's getting peppered on all sides from this ray of cold damage, and starting to freeze up around the hips. He's starting to like worry about what his options are, and then he turns around just to see this llama charging towards him, and then gets splattered in the face by a big basketball-sized loogie. And he is blinded for 1 round. That was your action and your movement. I think that's all you can do.
Yep, that's it.
End of your turn. He has nothing he can do. He's not in melee. So yeah, nobody's got any legendary actions they can use yet. Unicorn, you get your legendary actions back.
I'm going to cast Dispel Evil and Good.
All right, Dispel Evil and Good. Let me look up what that one does again. Remind myself. You're casting it. Is it a self thing or do you cast it on him? Let's have a look.
I think I cast it on myself. So shimmering energy surrounds and protects me from celestials.
Right. Yeah.
They have disadvantage on attack rolls. And then there's a bit later.
Yeah. So whatever you have it on, you can choose to dismiss it for extra effect. All right. So you cast protection from elementals on your protection from whatever it's called, dispel evil and undead. So he is a celestial. You can feel that much from him. You still should be able to feel his presence, so that doesn't explain why you can't feel him. But yeah, there's you can tell that he's a celestial just from the nature of the fact that he's casting celestial magic from a horn.
Yep.
Your shimmering shield at the end of your turn would run out. Your own shimmering shield on yourself. There you go. So you cast that as your action. You've got your movement if you want to take it.
Nope.
You're going to stay where you are. Cool. At the end of your turn, nothing. No. Oh, at the end of your turn, the llama. You have the option for using some of your 3 legendary actions if you wanted to use them.
I'm going to go with heal self again.
All right. Use all 3 of them. Roll that in the chat then.
11.
11 points of healing. Oh my goodness. He needs to start laying on damage, otherwise you're just going to heal more every round than you're taking damage-wise. Plus 11. Oops, god damn it. Sorry guys, I keep bashing my microphone. Can't be nice to listen to. All right, so you're looking pretty good. The magic of your horn is seeping back into the wounds that you've taken. The big piercing horn damage in your front, and the slight glass marks, the glass shards that are wedged into your chest have started to push themselves out of the wounds and close up the wounds. Awesome. It is now the narwhal's turn. He gets back all of his legendary actions. He is blinded for this round. He still has the shimmering shield for the rest of this round. What does he do? He's got he's got Cone of Cold, hasn't he? I think he's going to use that. He knows the rough direction of all of you. Even when you blinded him, he knows where you ended up because he's got the same abilities as you have. So Cone of Cold. I need you and your two buddies here and here to make Constitution saving throws. Ooh, actually, and all of these humans as well. Oh boy.
Not a good protector.
Nope. This was a poor play on the narwhal's pad. 18. That
18?
is a success. That is a success. Your allies, let's have a look. The two, they're probably going to die either way. Even if they succeeded against it, they would probably go down here. Oh, that's a success and a fail. So this one fails and gets instantly frozen solid. Right down to the core of their blood and their heart and everything. So unfortunately they are deceased. Unless you can very quickly thaw them out somehow. And this one is probably also... Let me roll it and see what the damage was. Is that right? That seems like a lot. Oh, it's because I... Oh, damn, man. I maxed out 3 of the dice and got second to max on 2 others. That was a really high roll. You take... you succeeded on your con save, so you take only half of that, taking 24 points of damage. So you are back down to below half hit points, but at least you're not dead. Unfortunately, both of your friends are. They are frozen solid, and all of these guys are frozen solid also. Seems like, unlike yourself, he is not quite as worried about, what's the word? Collateral damage. So as he spins around, blinded, he just kind of blindly shoots out of his horn. This cone of freezing cold energy. It seems like you're getting doused in exceptionally cold seawater, like you've just been dunked in the Arctic Sea. You just feel like you're getting hit by shards of icicles and icebergs and things. Boom! Until you, as it passes, and you're shivering down to your very core, you notice that there's a lot of frozen solid statues of people around you. That was his turn. He is going to run away from you in a general direction. He's not really sure where he's going to go, so he just runs over to here till he hits a tree, and then he just stops there. At the end of his turn, you get to use your legendary actions. You've just used all of yours, Llama. Unicorn, you've got yours left, though. Do you want to do anything with your 3 legendary actions?
I'm gonna heal.
You're going to heal, self-heal. All right, roll it.
In a
Roll
really
it.
boring way.
Roll it in the chat, and then I will see what are the rest of them
Because
doing
both-
in the meantime.
Because Kay still has more points than I do.
Mm-hmm. These guys, in the meantime, while you do that, I'm going to work out what the gnomes are doing. This guy runs up here. Oh, at the end of the narwhal's turn, he no longer has his shimmering shield. But he's still blinded. So the gnome runs up to here, and he's going to make an attack. Did you heal yourself? You got 10 hit points back, so you are still wounded, still looking bloodied.
Yep.
But not as bad anymore. And he's got disadvantage to attack you, right? Okay. Who else? What else we got? This guy is already on this side of the. Oh no, he wasn't. He had to use his movement to get to this side, so he can only get to there. So this guy's going to make an attack with advantage because the thing he's attacking is blinded. That is an 18 to hit, which is going to be enough to hit. So how much damage does he do? What is it? And he's no longer doing minimum damage because he's not worried about non-lethal anymore. So that is much better. That's 7 points of damage. Not minus. I'm counting upwards, and he is showing signs of being bloodied. Then these guys, this guy's going to take an attack as well. He has disadvantage, but he's got advantage because of blind, so it just cancels out. And that with a 3+ stuff, that's going to miss. It fires off into the general vicinity of you guys. This guy had to use his action his movement to get there. He's going to take the dash action and jump across to here, and run a little bit further forwards. There we go. That was all of the gnome's turn. You two have both used all of your legendary actions. He is now going to use his legendary actions. What did he use already? He didn't use anything. This is the only opportunity, so he's got all 3 of them back. So he is going to start to heal himself, because you can do it and so can he. He gets back a bit of hit points and is no longer showing signs of being wounded. Then it is the elves' allies, and we've got 2 deceased and 2 extant. They're all going to take attacks. They're all going to move in. Well, actually, no, they've just seen the attack that he can do from ranged, so they're not going to move in. They're going to move behind cover of trees. In fact, this one takes a step back to get a little bit more cover from this tree. And then they're going to take attacks, and they're going to get advantage because he's blind. Hey, that is with advantage a 20-something. That's going to hit. And then again with advantage, that is a 4 and a 4. That's going to be an 8 to hit total. So the second guy misses, but this guy hits. This guy hits for... only 4 damage. But hey, every little helps. What am I doing? Wrong one. It is now Lamacon's turn. What do you do?
Right, I am going to cast Circle of Power.
Ooh, Circle of Power. What does that one do?
So divine energy radiates from you in a 30... Oh yeah, you remember saying in the other stream, it's actually a sphere, even though it's called Circle of Power.
Sphere of Power.
In a 30-foot sphere, for the duration, each friendly creature in that area has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. And also, if we would usually take half damage on a success, we take none.
Awesome. Awesome. That would have been perfect to have had going before this guy froze to death.
Yes, I know.
So... Rob. The unnecessary death. Yeah, totally.
There's your 30-foot aura. So, you know, this guy, and this guy who all just froze to death, they would have had advantage on the saves, and they would have taken half damage if they'd have succeeded. All right.
AJ's just done a narwhal pick, and it's in the chat.
Oh, really? I gotta see it.
This is a sketch.
Where? What? Oh,
It's
my god.
He's got a pendant around his neck. Not that he has a neck. I can't believe somebody knocked this up. Just knock it together, because why not? That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. You never cease to astound me, Ajo. That's brilliant. That's what he looks like. That's so horrendous. All right. So that was your... What the hell was that? I don't even remember. What was I doing?
Right, so yeah, I did my Circle of Power.
Oh, that was Lamacon's turn. That was right. So that was your action?
What I can do, if I take a couple of steps forward, then I would actually get Fancy and that other dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a gnome down there?
Yep,
I'd get them in the range as well.
Correct.
So take a couple of steps forward just to get as many people in there as possible.
So now all of these friendly allies, and yourself included, you are one of your own friendly allies. You all have advantage on saving throws, and take no damage if you succeed on them, which is pretty good. Nice work, Aja.
So helpful.
All right. Then it is the end of the Lamacon's turn. None of you have your legendary actions yet, so Unicorn, you're up.
I'm going to try a charge multi-attack with my dispel.
Nice. All right.
With my spell good and evil. So if I make a melee attack, then I can try and force them back to their plane, which I hope is something.
Yes.
crap.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So you charge forwards, and you try and slam him with your horn, right? So give him the extra charge damage as well. So roll an attack first. He's no longer blinded because it lasted until the end of the llama's turn, so he kind of wipes out the blinded gunk of stuff in his eyes. those two humans at the top are in it too. Yeah, true. These two guys are in it too.
D20 plus 7.
A 24. Yes, that is enough to hit. So you strike him with your horn. You take the charge damage. So you do 3d8 plus 4, was it? 3d8 plus something?
Stupid tabs. If it's a horn attack, then yes. So it's 3d8 plus 4.
3d8 plus 4. Yes, nice. All right, so you roll that while I try and very quickly make a token for Aegis.
I got 25.
You got what?
I got 25.
25 damage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
From 3d8 plus 4? That's
Yeah.
very
I got-
high.
I got a 21 plus 4.
Oh my god, that's awesome. You got 5 and 2 8s. Nice. All right. Yeah, so he takes 25 damage, definitely taking him to wounded. Not dead though. But looking very badly off from that. And as you slam him in with the horn, it digs right down into his rubbery sort of slick skin. And let me pull up what's it called? Dispel Evil and Good.
And I get a hoof attack as well.
You do, yes. You make a melee spell attack, blah blah blah, as your action against. Okay, so you can. So just 1 second. So you can't use the dismissal aspect of this spell unless you are just doing that as the action. It's like you don't get to do the attack of the horns and everything else, and then also do this dismissal, because it says as your action you make a spell attack and blah blah blah, and if you hit, it dispels it. So you can do a horn attack and a hooves attack, and try and waste him, just try and take him out in a single round, or you can do your dismissal attack and try and send him back to his native plane of existence.
Or like, rough him up a bit this turn and then try
Yep,
to go
and
for
then
the
try it on
dismiss
the
next
next one.
turn.
Okay, let's do that. So let's hooves then.
Look at this guy. Let me show you some behind the scenes. Let me show you some behind the scenes of what I do to make a token real quick. I go into here, I save image as, I don't care where I save it, and then I go into here, I drag this into here, I turn this onto that, do this real quick like that, and then I move him, order it, background white, try and get him. How do I make him? Maybe if I make him tiny. Look at this fella, he's crazy. This is so hideously ugly. I love that I'm responsible for this existing in the world now. Download, there we go, and then he's in the world as a token. Get rid of both of that, and then I drag this onto the field. Boom. So, did you roll your hooves attack?
I've just done it because I apparently couldn't type properly. So I hold 12.
12 point. Did you hit? Did you roll to hit first?
Shit.
Because you might miss him.
D20 plus 7. Yes, D20 plus 7. 19.
19, yeah, 19 definitely hits. And then what was the damage?
12.
12 points of damage. 12 points takes him to... Oops, not plus 66. Oops. Takes him to 66. Fancy and Llama, how many is your maximum hit points?
67.
What do you think his maximum hit points might be?
67?
I would think so too.
How much damage is he taking? So you run in and you slam him with your horn, and then you pull back and there's like a glop of blood as it starts to push out between the layers of blubber, and then you bring up your hooves and slam into him again. You feel like it's ricocheting and rippling through his body, with his blubber taking a lot of the damage. He is not looking healthy at all, but he is still standing. Just That was Fancy's turn. That was your action and some of your movement. You've got more movement if you want to take it for whatever reason.
No, it's okay.
Oops, I deleted the previous token, so it deleted him from the initiative order. He was after you, Fancy. So there we go.
12? Sorry.
He was somewhere like that. Yeah, as long as he's between you and the gnomes, it doesn't really matter. All right. At the end of the unicorn's turn, anyone wants Lamacon? It would only be. Have you done anything with your? No, you haven't. You've got them all back. So you've got three legendary actions if you want to take them.
I'm not in slamming range.
You are not.
No, I'm pretty confident he's pretty much defeated, so I'll
just taunt.
I'll just wait.
All right.
Yeah, just taunt him.
It is now his turn. He is going to. Let me think. He's already used up his big ones. What has he got then? He's already used up his big ones. So what can he do? He can healing touch, but not himself. Oh, of course. All right. You see this one down here that neither of you have had reason to use.
What, the teleport?
Yep.
That I've looked at before.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking about it earlier.
You see him.
Made a jobby.
You see him get absolutely just trounced, and then he goes, "This did not go how I expected it to go. Good luck finding me." And then he grabs a hold of the amulet that's around his neck, and he starts to teleport away. I will allow each of you to make dexterity checks to see if you can be quicker than him, knowing what he's about to do, because you can do it too. You know exactly what he's about to do, and because you can't feel you don't know why you can't feel him, but it's going to make it real hard to know where he's teleported to. So a 10 from Aftermath, and Fancy dexterity check, a 6 total. I'm
tempted to use my inspiration.
Oh yeah, you could if you want. You have to tell me now before I say whether it was a success or not. You're gonna use it.
Yeah, I went for it.
You got a 20. All right. Fancy, are you using your inspiration or not?
Aye.
Oh.
So we've got a 19 and a 20. All right. How do I roll in this one? I've been rolling in. Let's have a look. It's that one. Roll. Here goes.
Oh my god.
Okay. So Fancy, you've just come down with your hooves and boom, boom, slammed into him, and his blubber kind of bounced you back a bit, and you're still kind of finding your footing from just having slammed him. And as he gets slammed away from you, you're a little bit too late, but the llama with a little bit of distance between you, you jump forwards to try and grab this guy, to try and stop him from escaping. But unfortunately, you're not quite fast enough. He grabs a hold of his amulet, and then it's almost like a collapsing bubble underneath the water. It just disappears into nothingness. There's a small spark of luminescence comes from it, but he winks out of existence. Both of you make perception checks, please.
15.
7. You are smart enough in the moment, Aftermath the unicorn, the Lamacon, you're smart enough in the moment to realize that you're not going to get to him in time. And while you can't tell exactly where he is, you have been able to tell where there was sort of a hole in your perception of where he should be from the displacement of leaves and grasses that he's standing on. And so instantly you focus your mind. You focus your mind as he's starting to wink out, and as sort of bullet time, the bubble is shrinking in around him, and you realize he's going to go, and you don't know where he's going to go. He could be anywhere within a mile radius. You quickly just sort of close your eyes and focus your mind on knowing where everything is in the mile radius around you. It's a little bit difficult because this is not technically your domain, but you try your best anyway. And with a 15, that was literally the DC. So with a 15, you just managed to get a sort of snapshot of the land, of the entire forest within a mile radius of you, right before the bubble collapses and he disappears and reappears a mile from you, about a mile to the north. You know exactly where he is, but only because of a very subtle displacement of the ground and the dirt and a few of the sort of microbes in the dirt at that moment. Fancy, you didn't manage to get a snapshot of where of what the land was right in time before seeing where he went, so you didn't know where he went. But Aftermath, you did. It is now the gnomes' turn. They have got nothing they can do, and the elves, they've got nothing they can do. So unless you guys want to do anything as your legendary actions, after each of your allies' turns, if you've got your actions back, you can heal yourselves and whatnot.
On our legendary actions, or
yeah, you've got your legendary actions after your respective allies' turns.
Yeah, let's do some healing.
Yep.
All right, so roll those things.
Go down. Go down.
So 8 for me.
I hate your face like that. Actually, I don't. You're best boy. Totes best boy.
Yep. Don't worry, Marie and Sparrow. Yep. Yeah, we got this.
We got this. We got this. All right, so Aftermath, you healed 8, right?
Yep.
You are still technically wounded, right, just on the cusp, and Fancy then rolled a 15 and got back up to decent. You are no longer wounded. You've still got your Dispel Good and Evil thing up, right? There's no reason that wouldn't have still been up. And you healed 15. You're looking slightly in better shape, 47 hit points. All right. So you get round to a whole round. It comes back round to your turn. Lamacorn, what do you do?
So I look at Fancy and I wink and go, finish him.
Finish him.
And then teleport with Fancy to where I know he is.
The two of you, you reappear in this area. You see him sitting down, basically just panting, and then you both, and he looks up and goes, "No." And he looks down at his amulet as if it's not working, as if he's worried about why you were able to find him. But how? I wasn't. And he gets to his feet real quick. That was your turn to teleport here, Llama. It is now the unicorn's turn. Surprise, mother flipper!
You thought you could run from us after killing all of those helpless villagers. Not on our watch. I am. I'm going to charge.
All right, so you charge forwards. You take a step back, and then you run forwards with your horn extended out in front of you, make an attack.
Yep. I don't know why I always forget this, and I've typed it a few times. Right, so it's a 3d8 plus 4.
But you need to make an attack roll first to see if you even hit.
Yep. Plus 20, plus 7.
So 15, that will hit. So you roll your 3d8 plus 4, which is a minimum of 7 damage. And he has had 1 round to heal self. So I'm not going to tell you how much he's healed, but he has healed somewhat. He's no longer on 1 hit point.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
3d8 plus 4 is 14 damage. He had healed 8, so he was on 9 hit points. Ooh. So you describe for me, Fancy. You describe what happens. You describe the kill. Describe the finisher.
I am going to come charging in with my horn fully down. As I get closer to him, I'm going to aim for his side, get the horn under him, piercing through, and chucking him up into the air as bits of his body start to fly out.
He goes flying up into the air. you ever seen when a beached whale? One of the ways that they try to deal with a beached whale is to just explode it into lots of pieces and let the seagulls deal with it. It's
It
not
only
very.
explodes itself after a while.
It's,
Like
yeah,
you
it
have
does
to
as
get
well.
rid of
Yeah.
them.
That is true because they a lot of gases build up inside them
Gases build up,
until they pop. It's pretty nasty
which is
stuff.
cool.
But yeah, in the past, they had one of the ways they've tried to deal with beached whales is to explode them with TNT, and it's not a good idea. There's videos on it on YouTube, and there's podcasts about it and stuff. It's very funny, but not wise. So he basically does that. You slice him in the side, poof, and then you lift him up.
Slice and flick.
He flicks up in the air, and as he's in the air, the radiant light from your dispel evil and good just explodes him from the inside, and he just rains down in bits of blubber, just splattering all over the ground around you, and probably making a nice sort of area of carrion for the local wildlife in this forest. And thankfully for you, none of your new protectees were needed to witness the eternal power that you could do as a unicorn. Rest in pieces. And with that, Fancy still has her once per day teleport, so you can use that to teleport the two of you back here again. And
I'm gonna before we do that, I'm gonna slightly wipe my head off.
yeah, so that you don't teleport back just fucking covered in narwhal blood.
Yeah.
Wait, we should
Just gonna
should
find
get the
a quick
pendant.
tree.
pick up the
We should get
pendant, the amulet.
Yes. So you pick up the pendant as well.
You do that, and I'm just going to wipe myself on this handy bush, just to
You
just take it back,
wipe
take it
yourself on
back
a
to
bush.
white.
Yeah.
Just roll over, get rid of it.
And then
So
eventually,
more dirty.
and
We're
then
more dirty
eventually,
than bloody.
yeah, filthy. And then eventually you teleport yourselves back to exactly the point where you left. You've only been gone like a matter of 10 seconds, maybe like 30 seconds by the time it's taken you to wipe stuff off. Maybe you teleport yourself accidentally back into the water. Oh, oops, I accidentally got in here. Wash. You climb out of the river. You wander over back to the people.
With the scent of wet lamacon following us.
Yeah, very bedraggled, bloody grumpy as all hell. All your wool is just dripping.
And then I'll shake myself off like a dog after a bath.
Like half the floof.
And then, as an epilogue, how do you think going forward? What happens with you guys? Your feud between the two of you, and who controls the forest, and how this works. What do you think happens in the following few months?
I think we learn to work together.
I think you learn to work together. You learn to use each other's.
For now.
For now. Yeah, for now.
For now.
You learn to be like siblings, able to sort of have some competitive advantage, but at the end of the day, when all's said and done, you still got each other's backs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sistercorns for now.
And on that positive note, I think we'll end the session there. Thank you very much.
Hashtag sistercorn.
Hashtag sistercorns.
There we go.